And good morning to you. Welcome to the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this day number 140. If you can believe it, the countdown to Christmas are down to 140 days to Christmas. 2000. Yeah, there's the Bills fans. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, they're whining. Yeah, the Buffalo Bill fans say, we want Tom Brady. Tom Brady says, we're coming. We're going to be there. So there's some smack talking going on already between the two, the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. They don't like each other, obviously. Rex Ryan kind of stirring the pot. We'll talk about that coming up later on this morning. Also, Butch Jones gets defensive of the football game. We'll talk about that. Also, what else going on? We got a lot of high school soccer and softball, or not softball, volleyball and soccer to tell you about. Also, a big week, of course, in high school football I've been telling you about. Our shows are ready to go. Thanks to Robert Kell, will be ready to go later on here in about an hour. The shows will be up and ready to go. They being, again, the Stacy Carter Coaches Show, also the Graham Clark Coaches Show, and the Sean Witten Coaches Show. All three of those ready to go. And a brand new home. Just go to TomTaylorSports.com, and there they be. Also, you can still go to YouTube, but they're also going to be, as we said, at TomTaylorSports.com. Thanks to Drew and the folks making it happen. So we are wearing our Bracken Paving asphalt maintenance ball cap that was so nicely given us by the Apester. And so we appreciate that very, very much. Here again on this Wednesday. It's Hump Day, 99 days till Christmas. You believe that? 99 days to Christmas. Feels beautiful outside. It is beautiful outside. Went by a local eatery today that uses firewood to cook. And, man, it just, the leaves starting to change and smelling some wood smoke, kind of wafting in the air. And, whoo, nice. Love being here in East Tennessee. Love it, love it, love it. Love raising the family here and living here and playing here and hanging out with you here. Again, on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, like us and follow us on Facebook, facebook.com, and you do, and we thank you for that. And we get ready for show number 140 today. Very proud of that. And we've got some big things planned for this show, and it will continue to get bigger, and we're continuing to push the envelope, if you will, move the needle. All right, let's get my gut. Here we go. Let's do this here. Let's tie off the old headphone cord. Thought we'd go this route today, just for the sake of being a little bit different. So, plus I want to wear my Bracken Paving ball cap, and they were so nice to get it to me, Spencer and those folks. I thought at least I can do is wear the cap. So let's get started in sports. Where do we go? Okay, I'm going to start the show with something I don't understand. Maybe you do. Maybe I'm just an dumb old country boy. I don't know. But we're going to start with the National Football League, the New York Giants, who got problems with Rashad Jennings, I should say, and also even more so, Jason Pierre-Paul. We have told you about this gentleman since way back when, and let's see. All right, let's make sure. Make sure everything's hunky here real quick. And let's see. When Gator starts sending stuff, 24. Okay. All right. I want to make sure it wasn't a technical difficulty. And there is 24 days to Gator's birthday. There you go. Oh, my man, the Gator. He's a nice one. All right, so here we go. You're an employee of a said company. Been down this road before. I just don't get it. There's more revelations about the degree of injuries to Jason Pierre-Paul's hand. New York Giant defensive end. You know the story by now. We've talked about it a lot, where he went out and bought a lot of fireworks, set him off July 4th weekend, ended up maiming his hand big time. Would not let the Giants check him out as far as how severe is the injury, although he's an employee of the football team. Wouldn't let him check it out. Still won't let him check it out. He finally came last Monday after the preseason was over and went through an examination process with the Giant organization. They, of course, since you know by now, said, you're not ready to play football, and they sent him back home to continue to rehab in Florida. Well, it gets a little more interesting. After Jason Pierre-Paul's 4th of July fireworks accident, which resulted in the amputation of his index finger, which, of course, is this one, Giants owner John Mara said that he didn't know how many fingers Pierre-Paul actually has. Now, how can you do that? How can he be an employee of a company? How could you be working for XYZ company and they say, well, you got hurt in an accident? Well, how bad? Mark will tell you. Now, here it is, what? August, September, July 4th. September the 4th is 60. What's today? The 16th. That's another 12. 72 days since you got hurt, and your employer still doesn't know to the extent of your injury. Who else could get by with that? I couldn't. Could you? Of course not. Doesn't know how many fingers he actually has left, which is kind of bizarre. Well, Pierre-Paul finally went to the Giants last week, underwent a physical, and now it appears the Giants know how many fingers are in fact on his hand. He's also missing portion of his thumb. So you're a defensive end, so you've lost this finger, so that's out, and part of your thumb. Now, can he still play football? I don't know. The Giants don't think so right now. They sent him back home. He did not sign his franchise tender. Why? There again. Maybe I'm old school. Why would you offer a franchise tender to a guy who won't even level with you and got hurt? Well, yeah, Tommy's a fantastic player. Yeah, but when you're in the foxhole and the shrapnel's flying, I want this kind of guy covering my backside? Not in the least. I mean, I don't understand. To me, as I said yesterday, the NFL owners, some of these guys are jarheads or dopes or doofuses, whatever. But why would you even offer a franchise tender? Because he's a great football player. Yeah, but the guy won't even level with you. Won't even let you come check him out. And so now, you know, it's been revealed he lost part of his thumb. I mean, it's a sad situation. You don't see anybody lose parts of your body, and that's not what I'm dwelling on. What I'm dwelling on is how does he – it's almost like the tail's wagging the dog. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Maybe because the NFL Players Association, he can do that. But anyway, he did not sign his franchise tender. See, if it was me, and it's not, I guess that's why I'm here on the show and I'm not owning a football team, I would have taken it off the table. You can't come tell me how severely hurt you are when we're going to give you the best care we can to get you back to play football for us because, by the way, you're an employee of my football team. And you can't tell me how and won't let me come see how significant your injury is, and you want me to sign you to a $14 million contract? What are you smoking? So, anyway, that's me, and I'm not them, obviously. Reported went back to Florida to get himself into playing shape until he's ready to make his return to the field. According to a report earlier this month, some members of the Giants organization fear that Pierre-Paul could miss the entire season. Well, again, I mean, there's folks out there. We gave you the story earlier in the week about the young man who's blind is playing football. So it's not that he couldn't play, but if you're a defensive end and that finger is totally gone and this one's half gone, I mean, you can still play, but obviously your effectiveness would be somewhat, if not greatly, diminished. I don't know. Last season, Pierre-Paul recorded 12.5 sacks, has 42 sacks in his career. And so now they, of course, are using Boyle. If we'd had him Sunday, because the Giants' defense only hit the Cowboys' quarterback, Tony Romo, just once. So they thought, well, Pierre-Paul's here, but he's not. So go get somebody else. And, again, I don't know. There's a loyalty factor here to me that's missing in this whole shebang from Jason Pierre-Paul. But anyway, more story about the Giants. Told you yesterday, I couldn't find the story when I found it last night. Rashad Jennings, the quarterback, said he was told not to score in that football game on Sunday with the Cowboys on Sunday night. Both Coach Tom Coughlin and quarterback Eli Manning assumed the blame on that final fateful Giants drive on Sunday night. A series of blunders, boy, you said that. Where's my bell? Led to the Cowboys' march to victory some 90 seconds later. Things got weirder when Giants running back Rashad Jennings said he was told not to score. Don't score the touchdown. Okay, there's red flags, at least for me. In the middle of the game, your big rival, it could be your first time you ever played them. I don't guess that makes any difference who you're playing. But you have a chance to win the ball game, told not to score. Eli Manning said, yep, I told him. He confirmed it. All right. Jennings goes to the New York Post to apologize, says, quote, I see now how what I said could have easily been misunderstood as an expression of resentment. Well, of course. Hello, moron. I make no claims to be a perfect communicator. Well, when you come out and there's no communication. When you come out and say, one of my teammates told me not to score, well, here I am sitting in Tennessee and you're listening to the show wherever you are. What else would you think? I mean, he says, I make no claims to be a perfect communicator. There's no communication. You came out and said, my football team told me, or one of the guys on my team, in this case the quarterback, told me not to score the touchdown. I also assure you that I had no ill will at all in stating what I did, yet I admit in retrospect that I should not have shared that information with the world. There you go. I chose to do so, and for that choice I am truly sorry. I hope, continue to quote Rashad Jennings, I hope that those who have come to know me over the years will readily see this is something that is uncharacteristic of me. I take full ownership of the fact that I didn't handle things as I should have, and for that, again, I truly apologize to my quarterback, to my coach, to my team, and to our fans. All right? Doesn't change the fact that Coughlin, who's been coaching since 1969, and Manning, who's been in the NFL since 2004, blew the third down play that opened the door for the Cowboys' comeback and went on to win. So all will be good, and forgotten this week, of course, as the Giants beat the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday. Of course, winning fixes everything. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us again on this Wednesday. I don't get it. I don't get that Jason Pierre-Paul. There's more to that story. You wait and see. There's more. Where there's smoke, there's fire, Daddy used to say. There's a reason why he's not coming out and saying more than he's saying, he being Jason Pierre-Paul, or why they even let his employer come down and give him a complete physical and check him out long before now. There's something to it. Where there's smoke, there's fire. All right, let's go to the phone and get our first guest on. And we'll do that right now because he is chomping to talk to us, and he would be our buddy Frank Lett from the Kingsport Convention and Visitors Bureau as guest number one here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. That'd be one ringy-dingy.
Hello, Tom.
Would that be Franklin E. Lett, my buddy, live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show? Are you there? Hello, are you there? Hello, hello, hello. Franklin E. Lett, would you be in the house, ladies and gentlemen? Is this you? All right, let's try it again here. I don't know. This week it's cell phones. Last week it was going good. This week not so good. I should probably just make a mandate. We always use landlines and not have to fool with this all the time. But folks are mobile and on the move, and that's sometimes the way it's got to be. We'll give it another whirl.
Frank.
Hello, this Franklin E. Lett? Huh. Hello. Is this Franklin E. Lett? Are you there?
Hello.
Hello, Frank. Can you hear me? We've got problems. Let's see. Is that any better? Can you hear me now? Nope. For some reason I can't hear him. I don't know what the problem is, but not being able to make contact with my man Frank Lett again, so we'll try back here in a few minutes and see if we can't get him, maybe using a different phone. Let's try this. He's calling in. Is this Franklin E. Lett? Hello. Why is this not working? I'm trying to cipher through here and go figure out why this is not working, and it's not working. Let me see. I don't know, boo-boo, but it's got a dial tone, and it's not working. So, I don't know. We'll have to double-check on that and see. Hey, it's Tom Taylor Sports Show. Don't know why. It's always, bless its heart, it's always something. It's something just about every day, but I don't know what it would be, why it would not work. But temporarily, she ain't, as they say in the old, that's poor English, she ain't. Let's see what else going on in the world of sports. We got Tennessee Titans wide receiver Justin Hunter. He dodged a bullet, found now not guilty of committing assault and battery in a crowded bar over the 4th of July weekend. Charges stem from a brawl that began inside the bar in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Prosecutors said the fight led to a man's jaw being broken, although the victim said at the trial it wasn't Hunter who landed the most serious blow against him on the sidewalk once the bar had been cleared out. Entire fight inside the bar lasted about 60 seconds. Quickly involved numerous people, according to surveillance video presented at the trial. Video showed at least one person throwing a bar stool. Hunter apparently was not the guy. Hunter's trial lasted about 4 hours. General District Judge Gene Woolard found Hunter not guilty, but in what he said was an unusual move for him, did not explain his reasoning for doing so. Okay. So you're in the courtroom. Of course, I guess Hunter doesn't care. You're in the courtroom and the judge says not guilty. Well, why wouldn't somebody say, well, why not? But they didn't. So as the verdict was announced, Hunter's family and friends stood up and erupted in cheers. Hunter, again, 6'4", 210, out of the University of Tennessee. Now for the Tennessee Titans. And so he, again, is off the hook. And so Let's see. After the fight got started, after Hunter was pushed away out of this group of folks that got mixed up, he came back with a large roundhouse left-handed punch aimed at one of the folks. And Hunter said he was aiming at his friend and not Blythe, the man who got hit. As the brawl ensued, Hunter put Blythe's friend in a chokehold from behind before Blythe began punching Hunter to get him off of him. So he's in the middle of all this, but the judge says you're not guilty, and so he is walking away scot-free. So there you go. Don't know. But doesn't sound like it's on the up and up to me, but hey, what am I and who am I? So anyway, good morning to you. Tom Taylor Sports Show. That happened in Virginia Beach. So Justin Hunter off the hook and free to play football. And he did last week for the Tampa Bay, or I should say the Titans against Tampa Bay, and had a so-so game. What did it say? He had one catch maybe? Let's see what it said. Mr. Hunter for the Titans had himself one pass for 11 yards in the Titans' season-opening victory at Tampa Bay on Sunday. Boy, did you watch any of the highlights of Jameis Winston? Whoo, me oh my. Did not set the woods on fire at all, the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not at all. And then on the other side, Marcus Mariota lit him up pretty good. He had a heck of a ball game. So it was interesting how these two Heisman Trophy winners went different directions in that ball game. Tom Taylor Sports Show, again, we thank you for being with us. Going to be with you until 2 o'clock this afternoon. We do it live every day. Then we upload the podcast, and we do that to iTunes, YouTube, and Stitcher phone app, and also to TuneIn Radio. And so we do that each and every day as well. Later on to the show, Dr. Barry Walton joins us. Also, Michael White joins us a little bit later in the show from East Tennessee State University, getting ready for a big football game tomorrow night. The Bucs on the road at Charleston Southern. And so we'll have that for you tomorrow night from Charleston, South Carolina for the Buccaneers. And so we'll check in with Michael White and get his thoughts about the game and some other things going on campus involving fall sports for the Buccaneer Fall Sports Campaign 2015. We will take a break, come right back. We will. We'll get going here, and we'll do a little checking on the old phone, see what's going on with that. We'll come back more right after you hear this on this Wednesday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call, and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
And start that conversation by calling 765-1000. Man, I like this ad. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Apester. Like it a lot. Let's go back to the phone. I think I fixed it. I think it's probably something I did again. Let's give it a whirl here and see if it's fixed. Okay, the reason was I had the thing turned down wrong. My bad. So let's give it a whirl. See, that's one. There it is. Franklin Lake, can you hear me? Are you there?
Hello?
I'll be doggone. Are you there? Let's see. Why is this not working? Why does this not work? I do not know. I do not know. So, hello. Nope, that's not it. So, I don't know why, but it's not working. So, thank you, Apester. The hat does look nice. So, I don't know. I don't know why the phone won't work, but it's not working, so we got to move on. And I apologize profusely. So, anyway, here we go. Peyton Manning on the injury list. You see this? After getting sacked 4 times against the Ravens on Sunday, Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning found himself on the injury report. Though he was listed with a back injury, Manning fully participated in practice. He said, I don't know what the deal is, but he said he looked less than optimal on Sunday. Eyebrows were raised, got sacked 4 times. A couple of those pretty hard hits. Anytime he got those big old lugs falling on him, he's got to hurt. Eyebrows were raised at the sight of Manning's name on the injury report. So when media met with him yesterday, they asked him about his back injury. He said, it's not a cause for concern. Quote, I was kind of surprised I was on it, to tell you the truth. I think a lot of guys, it's a pretty physical game on Sunday, so in many ways, maybe I'm honored, which I don't understand that. But anyway, he's not hurt. He's ready to go. And he said, he's sore. You're always sore on Mondays and Tuesdays, getting ready for the next game. But anyway, Peyton Manning said, what did he say? Oh, yeah. Full systems go, says the Broncos quarterback. Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this, where are we? On this Wednesday. Again, it's Hump Day, 16th day of September, 2015. And again, we're a countdown to Christmas. We're at 199, I should say. Our show is at number 140. And again, we always look forward to talking sports with you each and every day. And so, I'm sporting that Bracken Paving ball cap. I like it. So, and again, I'm totally perplexed over the phone call thing because there again it was working yesterday and want me to call in. Yeah, let's try that. See if that works. Let me hang on here a minute. We'll see if we'll try this because something is amiss and I don't know why. And it, boy, do I need a producer back in here. I tell you that, and we're gonna get one too. We got to get us one back in here. So help out here so we can focus on matters at hand, which would be the show to give you the best show we can give you. So anyway, what else going on in sports? Baseball. Let's see. It's rundown baseball for you. Baseball, again, from last night and yesterday, we got a brand-new leader in the American League Western Division. That would be the Texas Rangers have taken over the lead. All right, the phone's ringing. Let's see if this works now. Keep your fingers crossed, cross your eyes, cross your nose, whatever. Here we go. Hello, Franklin Lett, are you there? It's amazing. Something is way bad wrong, and I don't know what it is. We got some kind of technical difficulty in the house. Frank, are you there? No, it's not going to work. I don't think. Let's see. Caller, Frank, are you there? Frank, can you hear me? 1 Adam 12. Nope, not going to work. Don't know why. So, which presents a whole different set of challenges for the rest of the show, to say the least. So anyway, we're back at it, and we go, as we said, Texas, a half game over Houston in the American League Western Division. Toronto now with a 3-game lead, a little bit of breathing room over the Yankees in the East. In the National League, the Mets with an 8.5 lead in the East. Cardinals have picked up a couple of games, a little bit of wiggle room. They've got 3 now under the belt as far as games separating them and the Pirates, and the Cubbies are 7 games back. Last night in the National League, Washington, Miami, Arizona, Colorado, the Reds, And the Cubs and the Pirates split a doubleheader, and the Cardinals all got W's. Atlanta beat Toronto 3-2 in interleague play. In the American League last night, Baltimore, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Texas, Oakland, Minnesota, Seattle, Detroit, and the Angels all get W's in the American League. So that would be your scoreboard of sorts. Wild card, you would say, in the National League, probably down to 3. The Pirates, the Cubs, and the Giants trying to get that wild card spot if they don't win the division. In the American League, we've got, 6? I would throw in the hat and shake them up. The Yankees and Houston and Minnesota and the Angels and Cleveland and Baltimore are all the teams now in the hunt in the American League for that wild card spot. So, again, pretty interesting race right now. But, again, Texas winning last night and taking over the lead by half a game over the Houston Astros. Also did some checking. I told you, was it last week or Monday? I guess it was Monday. What's going on with Daniel Norris? Young man from Johnson City. Is he done for the year? Is he on the shelf? Well, quite the opposite. He's pitching tonight for Detroit. Brad Ausmus announcing that Science Hill starter Daniel Norris will get the nod tonight against the Twins in Minnesota. Apparently it's a doubleheader. Looking to be that way. Let's see. Double check here. Nope. It's going to be a single game. But Norris is pitching tonight at 8:10 start. And, I see. Anibal Sanchez. Gotcha. Sanchez been on the disabled list. He'll get some innings. He'll get some throws, but Norris is going to start it. All right. He's been on the disabled list since August 20th with a right oblique strain. Sanchez and Norris both pitching 3 innings in a simulated game last Saturday inside the batting cages at Progressive Field. So Daniel Norris starts it tonight from Johnson City. He will be on the pitch count, and Anibal Sanchez will come in, and Anibal Sanchez will come in to pitch at some point tonight after the obligatory number of pitches or innings will be designated to Daniel Norris. So that's what we got there. So Norris is on the mound tonight, and that'll be a good thing. Good to see him out there pitching, and he's back off the DL and get a chance to strut his stuff. And, of course, talk is Brad Ausmus, the manager of the Tigers, in trouble. He may not be around, so I don't know what that does. They're good friends, and, of course, he went to bat for him in that trade over from Toronto to get him. So, the GM's already gone. He's resurfaced at Boston. So, if Ausmus is gone, what's that do for Daniel Norris? Is that his safety net? Maybe to a point, but if you go out and pitch and do what you're supposed to, you don't need a safety net. You'll stand on your own merit. So hopefully it'll be the case tonight for Daniel Norris, the rookie sensation out of Johnson City Science Hill High School. Speaking of Science Hill, we got Stacy Carter Coaches Show. It'll be up and ready to go in about 28 minutes. And, again, it'll start at noon. Again, simply go to TomTaylorSports.com. It'll be there for that. Also, you've got the Graham Clark Coaches Show. We shot that last night at Big E's Clam Bar in Kingsport on Stone Drive. And, by the way, a testimonial, man, they make a mean burger. Holy smokes. The Biggie Burger. Got it last night, and it is awesome. Got some great sweet tea, some sweet tater fries, and good place. And we shoot the Graham Clark Coaches Show there every Tuesday night at Big E's Clam Bar on Stone Drive in Kingsport. It is very, very good food. Always get the Biggie Burger when I'm there on Tuesdays. It's 2 for $1 on Tuesdays with pizza and chicken. And as we said, the burgers. Graham Clark got the chicken sandwich. And, man, a lot of food, and it's awesome. So just remember that, Big E's Clam Bar. And so his show comes out at noon. And then also the Sean Witten Coaches Show. Coach Witten, again, we do his show every Tuesday morning. We tape it. And so it's ready to go at noon today. And so let's see, the hit parade last week, the school or the coach had the most hits on the show was Elizabethton. So we'll see if Graham Clark or Stacy Carter's popularity and viewership will go past Sean Witten. But last week, Coach Witten and Elizabethton easily the most popular show out of the 3. So, and I know in large part the folks in Elizabethton, they love them Cyclone football. So love them some football. So anyway, all throughout today at noon, simply go to TomTaylorSports.com, and there it be. And also you can find it on YouTube as well, but it's easier now because we put everything in one spot. TomTaylorSports.com. Hilltopper football Friday night. Boy, it is beginning to build. The buzz, the hype. The number 1 team in the state, they've won 34 straight games. They have won back-to-back state championships, they being the Maryville Rebels, and so they're ready to go. and they'll be coming to town as the number 1 team. Science Hill at number 4, a battle of undefeateds. Last year, Science Hill went down there and did not do well at all, and they got hammered down there in the playoffs. Coach Carter says you go back and watch the film. I know it sounds crazy, he says, but the defense didn't play all that bad. He said our offense didn't do anything. He said we were very, very, unproductive, obviously, and they got beat pretty good. And so, they got something to prove Friday night. And, of course, the buzz on the hill is already there, I can tell you that. There's a lot of folks getting ready to, or not getting ready, but already starting to kind of hype this game, and it should be the number 1 team in the state. And this is the program which you set your barometer by. I mean, this is the one you check. I mean, there's Oak Ridge, and there's Murfreesboro, Oakland, and Murfreesboro, Riverdale, and of course, out in the west, you got Ravenwood and some of the other schools around the state of Tennessee. But if you look at success, you want to see where your program needs to be. You would put yours up against Maryville. And so George Quarles, which is a class gentleman, he'll bring his very good football team to town on Friday night. We'll start our coverage right here at 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and put that up there for you at 7 o'clock. And, again, we'll start up the Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen pregame show, and the kickoff will be at 7:30 on Friday night from Kermit Tipton Stadium and Steve Spurrier Field. The place will be rocking, I guarantee you. I'm going to say it'll be as big a crowd as East Tennessee State had on their opening night back when they had the first football game a couple of weeks ago. It'll be that big, I think, or maybe even bigger, because Maryville obviously will travel very, very well coming up here. They support their team. Science Hill, the 12th man. Place should be rocking, so I look for a big crowd, and I look for a capacity crowd, quite frankly, as does the staff at Science Hill. They're bracing for that, getting ready for it. Popping a lot of popcorn they'll be doing on Friday, getting all the Sody Pops iced down, getting ready to go. And, of course, here on our broadcast, we'll be sipping on some great, which we love to do, some great Dr. Enough, which is one of our great sponsors here on Science Hill Sports. Love me some Dr. Enough, and so we'll be sipping on some Dr. Enough up there, ready to go Friday night. We'll have Cody Helton producing. We'll also have our buddy Kevin Harmon on stats. Also Don Shepard on color commentating. We'll bring you the play-by-play. And Robert, Robert is not going to be there Friday night, I found out. So we'll have us a different sideline reporter. So Robert has to step aside. We totally understand that. And so we'll have someone else ready to go for that on Friday night. We're ready to go. And as I said, the buzz is there. Quick break. We'll be right back with more on this Wednesday morning. You are listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call, and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Kingsport Cabinetry installs cabinets and countertops all over the 3-state region. Owner Richard Isaac says there is no charge for his quotes.
All of our quotes and drawings are free. I know a lot of the national chains, big box stores and stuff, and I understand they have to charge a price to come out and measure and do a quote, but here at Kingsport Cabinetry, we do all that for free in hopes that our service is good enough. I always tell people this, Tom. I say, you can go anywhere in this town and get a product like I have, but find somebody you're comfortable working with. If you're not comfortable working with me, find somebody you are comfortable working with. But I can guarantee you we'll give you the service. We have a full shop back here that we do custom work, and I'll just move on a little bit. We get into commercial work. We do a lot of commercial work, a lot of healthcare, a lot of restaurants, banks, schools, things like that too.
Kingsport Cabinetry. Call Richard Isaacs today at 247-6134. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this Wednesday, hump day, over the hump and through the woods to a beautiful weekend we go. Of course, we're not here at fall yet. When is fall? Fall will be in here September the 21st. What's today, the 15th? So you're talking, today's the 16th. You are talking, I'm looking over here on the calendar. When's the 21st? 21st will be Monday, right? Yeah, Monday will be the first day of fall officially. Is that right? Yeah, Monday will be the first day of autumn 2015. What else going on in the world of sports? Again, as we told you, Daniel Norris gets a nod tonight pitching that baseball for the Detroit Tigers and manager Brad Ausmus. We told you about that. Also, we had some golf yesterday. Let's run down this for you. High school golf and a shootout. You had Sullivan South and University High playing in a dual meet or match at Pine Oaks. Sullivan South won it. Seth Crawford shot a 37 for Sullivan South, and also Sean HSY. I have no clue how to pronounce that one unless there's a typo. He shot a 37 for University High as well. And the girls' side of things, it was Sullivan South ladies out dueling University High. Caitlin Grills was the low golfer, shooting a 41 for South, and Abby Benton did a 46 for University High. Also yesterday at the Elizabethton Golf Course, a four-way match for the guys and girls. Greenville won it over Happy Valley, Elizabethton, and Hampton. Peyton Gray shot a 39 for Greenville. Nathan Kite, 41 for Happy Valley. The low man for Elizabethton was Christopher Schaff, and Nathan Norris shot a 46, the low man for Hampton. Schaff, by the way, shot a 43 for Elizabethton. On the girls' side of things, Greenville, they won it out of four. Actually, out of five: Greenville, Hampton, Happy Valley, Elizabethton, and Unaka. Lilith Buwala shot a 37 for Greenville. Hannah Brummett, 42 for Hampton. Happy Valley's Hannah Younts shot a 44. And also you had Elizabethton's Bailey Montgomery. She shot a 48. And Unaka's Chandler Thomas shot a 53 for Unaka in that five-team meet. Again, to pace that in that match going on. The Elizabethton Golf Course. Got a frog. Talk like get a frog, from time to time. What else going on in the world of sports? Again, we got to figure out what's wrong with the phone system. I'm not sure what it is, but she's not working, and I'm not sure why. And that kind of changes the whole show here. We had guests lined up all over the place, and so, there you go. I will. Thank you, sir. My buddy Drew. We'll brag on Drew for a minute. Angels come in different shapes and sizes, do they not, in people's lives? And that would be one of them right there. That guy is class. He's a great guy, and I appreciate him very, very much. And he's helping me get to where we're going to get this show. And I do want to say publicly thanks to my buddy Drew. And I'd I'd fight you in a heartbeat over Drew. Now, he is a dandy. You cross Drew, you crossing me. I know how it goes, and so that's exactly how I think about him, and I appreciate him so very, very much. But clear it again. All right, there we go. So, wait a minute. How about a swig of some H2O? All righty. Got to get over to Dr. Walton's to get some zinc lozenges for the old throat. Got a big softball thing going on this weekend at Winged Deer Softball Complex in Johnson City. That thing we're calling is the 24th Annual Milligan Fall Classic. Again, they play all day Friday and Saturday. A bunch of teams coming to town. It's a fall classic, kind of test and see where you are because it counts in the spring. Buffaloes play on Friday at 11 o'clock against Anderson University. Also games at 1, 3, and 7. So they play 4 on Friday and 3 more times on Saturday. The weather's supposed to be perfect. And so if you want to check out some college softball for the ladies all weekend long, starting at 11 o'clock on Friday, again at Winged Deer Softball Complex in Johnson City, because that is going to be a lot of fun. And, again, they get a great chance to kind of gauge where you are in your program if you're playing fall softball. Everything we're talking about is on TomTaylorSports.com. We have there for you the coaches' shows, which will be out in 19 minutes for this week. Stacy Carter, very pointed remarks concerning the Maryville Rebel football team. And why would they not be? They're the number 1 team in the state. They are the team in which you gauge your football team. I think if you be honest, you would say that. Although there's some other great teams in the state, but when you've won back-to-back state championships and 34 in a row, that's a good team to want to try and pattern yourself after. So he'll talk about that, and also the big win over Urban, North Carolina, coming out in about 18 minutes or so at TomTaylorSports.com. Also, the Graham Clark Coaches Show out. What a wild one to sit there and look at the highlights with Coach Clark on that one. 49-41, second year in a row. They had at least both teams over 40 points scored in the game. Another wild one right down to the last play of the game. Young man threw for over 500 yards and over 600 yards of offense did Sevier County, and yet they lost the ball game. And, in fact, he told me he can't remember ever coaching a game where they gave up 600 yards of offense and won the game. But they did, 49-41 over Sevier County. He'll talk about that. Also, 3 Indians went over the 100-yard mark rushing for the first time since 2000, and he'll tell you about that as well on the show that we taped last night at Big East Clam Bar in Kingsport, right across from the Putt-Putt, and they got some serious good food. In fact, Shane's going to be with us tomorrow talking about they got a big fundraiser coming up this week and a big benefit. I'm sure you can't see this card, but that would be the Big East card, and our buddy Shane will be with us tomorrow with that. Also, Sean Witten joins us again on that Coaches Show starting in about 17 minutes on TomTaylorSports.com. And, again, that'll be a chance for you to talk or hear what he has to say, and hear him talk, I should say, about the big win over Daniel Boone, a very big and physical football team. They're very glad to dispose of and move on. He said that's a dangerous team. And he said, I can't believe they're winless right now, because he said they really play hard. And Gabe Sanders, he was very complimentary of the Daniel Boone player, Gabe Sanders. So Coach Witten, and also he'll do a preview of the Unicoi County game. And so he'll be on that show coming up again in about 15, 16 minutes. Everything goes and funnels into TomTaylorSports.com. This show, and when we podcast up, it stays there. You can check it out there. Also, of course, the coaches' shows we just alluded to, and also our audio broadcast on Friday night. Go ahead and hit that again, Tom. Thank you. Be right there. Scienceville, Maryville, the number 1 team in the state coming to town. And this is not hype, but I'm just going to tell you, if you don't have your seat, you're not in your seat by about 6:30, good luck, because, again, the weather's going to be perfect. There's not going to be any hindrances as far as rain or wind. I mean, it's going to be pretty much a perfect night. Can Scienceville do it? Absolutely. Anytime you line up, you got a chance. They're going to play a very, very good football game because they're a very, very good football team, obviously. But, you're 3-0 for a reason, too, at Scienceville. So I'm sure Maryville's saying the same thing. These guys aren't cream puffs. They're not sissies and lilies, as we call them back home. They're going to be a good football team, and they got to be ready to go too. So it's not just Scienceville being ready for Maryville. Maryville's going to be ready for Scienceville. Up to this point, down through the years, there was that mystery and that mystique, because the only time you heard or saw Maryville was in the playoffs up here. And so it's like, we have to go to Maryville. And, understandably so. They're very, very good. They're a dynasty. But I think the more you see a team, and I think it's going to be the case with Maryville. In fact, Coach Clark made point of this last night on the show that, every time he watches another Big East team, he gets to see more of Maryville than normal, because They're in the conference now. So I think the more you see them, the intimidation factor goes away. I would think it would for me, because I'm not going to be intimidated to begin with. But if 16, 17-year-old kids can be intimidated, the more they see them and realize, they're human too. They put their football pants on just like we do, one leg at a time. So I think that the more you see them, the less of the intimidation factor you have to deal with, because you realize they're just regular Joes like we are on our football team. So anyway, Friday night, 7 o'clock, it'll get started right here with the Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen pregame show. Halftime brought to you by Center Street Wealth Management Group, our buddy Greg Taylor and Tim Colvin and Natalie Wells and Jeff Bedford. And then, of course, postgame also brought to you by Blue Lizard. And we picked players of the game last week, Justin Medard and Quentin Alabokas. Big Q's got to step up. He got a big game, 6'4", 290. He's got to get after it. Kalen Jaminson's got to get after it. 6'3", 310. He's got to get after it. All of them's got to get after it. It's got to be a team effort to beat this team. You're not going to do a one-guy, one-man band to beat the Maryville Rebels. It's got to be a football team that plays near perfect without virtually any mistakes, and certainly none of the penalties have bitten Science Hill over the first 3 ball games. I think they are averaging, what'd Kevin tell me? They're averaging 8 or 9 penalties a game. Can't do that. And so they're going to have to play a very, very good football game to beat them, but they can. You go back to the good book, and the good book says, what's the big deal? And old David picks up that slingshot. Whoosh, whoosh, kaboom, brings down Goliath. It's like, what's the deal? And he's over screaming at him, and he says, you're not going to scream at me, and in the name of my Lord, and whoosh, whoosh, kaboom, down he came. So anyway, that's what they got to look at on Friday night. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us again on this 16th day of the month. Our thought for the day, or actually our verse for the day, we dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. He's right there is the cross in which he did, and this show's all about that, and unashamedly I tell you that. Today's verse is, in fact, I got it right here on my little dooflage on my arm, little bracelet that has trust in the Lord with all your heart. It says, trust in me with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Don't try and figure things out. Just trust him. It's easy to say, harder to do. Trust in him. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your paths. So, that's pretty strong right there. Trust in me with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. Don't try and figure things out. Just trust me. I know what I'm doing. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and, hey, I own the hills. So I am in control. I am in charge. I know what I'm doing, says the Lord. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I'll direct your paths. So that is the verse for the day, and it's a good one. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Tom Taylor Sports Show, again, we thank you for being with us. College football, got some big ones coming up this weekend. Again, we got 4 really good ball games to talk about. We're going to take a break and come back and do that. Also, coming up this weekend, if you want to see, and I think I'm going to take this one in. I think Saturday night, taking the little people there, it is going to be Thunder Valley Mayhem this weekend at Bristol Dragway. One of the largest Super Chevy shows in the country, rolling in here on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Going to be a lot of fun at Bristol Dragway. We'll take a break, talk about that, and also the big matchups in college football. Again, on this Wednesday. Again, the countdown to Christmas, if you care. Most don't, 99 days. And this is our show today, show number 140 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And all the shows, again, everything we do now is funneled into one spot, thanks to Drew and his trusty sidekick. And that would be TomTaylorSports.com, all lowercase. Type it in, and everything we do is like a menu at your local restaurant. Everything we do, it's right there. You can, I didn't know he did this. I didn't know he did that. So, and that's the point. And Drew had, as always, a brilliant idea to do that. And so, there it be. Take a quick break. We'll come right back. We will talk about Thunder Valley and the Super Chevy Show, and also college football coming up right here on a Wednesday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. Whether lying on the beach, just working in your yard, or watching NASCAR racing this weekend in Bristol, your skin needs protection from the harmful effects of the sun. Blue Lizard Sunscreen delivers broad-spectrum SPF 30-plus protection that comes with smart bottle technology. Our bottle changes colors in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. It's the brand most recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Plus, it's made right here in the Tri-Cities. Blue Lizard Sunscreen. We've got you covered. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us on this Wednesday. Yeah, having a good time with you again on a beautiful, beautiful late summer day here in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. And continue to Facebook us and like us and follow us at Facebook.com, Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, that new website, TomTaylorSports.com, and that's where you can find what we're doing all the time, all the coaches' shows, which are up here in about 6 or 7 minutes, all the coaches' shows and our ball game broadcast, audio cast. Soon, later in the year, we'll be doing audio and video, but right now it's audio cast, and also, of course, the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And so that's where you can find it and enjoy it, as a matter of fact. So let's see. Yep, you got it. So let's see, Bristol Dragway. Here we go, the Super Chevy Show. One of the largest in the country coming to town this weekend, the 18th, 19th, and 20th at Bristol Dragway. The popular Super Chevy Show is known for some of the most exciting bracket and exhibition racing in the region. This year, no different. At the Beef O'Brady's Thunder Valley Mayhem, presented by Thompson Metal Services on Saturday. This show is a can't-miss event. I may be there for that one. Never been able to go, but I may just slide in there and join you there on Saturday night. At Thunder Valley Mayhem, fans should prepare themselves for the ultimate family evening of entertainment, including fast machines, extreme thrills, and edge-of-your-seat excitement. They got the Pro Mods, jet cars, Team FMX freestyle bikes, a car-eating dinosaur Saturday at the Dragway, the world's quickest wheel stander car, fireworks, and more. Saturday's Thunder Valley Mayhem will have 2 drag racing pro rounds at 6:30 and 8:30. Those in attendance will have plenty of activities to keep them busy all weekend long. Bracket racers will flock to the Thunder Valley track to take part in exciting racing action.
Also, you get to see a spectacular selection of some of the region's best classic and modern Chevrolets. Is there a better car in the world than a 57 Chevy? I don't think so. That's my all-time favorite car. Love it. And there'll be a lot of those up there. Chevy diehards will be impressed with the attention to detail given to the machines. So, anyway, it's all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And day passes available for $10 on Friday, $20 for single days on Saturday and Sunday. Kids 10 and under are $10 for the weekend or $5 a day. And, of course, a weekend pass to all three at Bristol Dragway, only $30 for a Saturday, Sunday pass. And so you're saving yourself, what, $10, but going that route. If you go up there both days and get you a 2-day pass for $30 or single-day passes for $20. Kids, again, 10 and under are $10 for the weekend and $5 a day, and that would be the way to go. Anyway, the Super Chevy Show, the old bow tie, if you will. 57 Chevys, and all the Chevrolets going to be there. Chevrolet Camaro, the SS Nova. See, my brother used to have a Malibu with a 396 in it. That thing would flat squawk the tires now, I'm here to tell you. Holy smokes. He come off the stoplight, hit that Hurst shifter, and had on the shifter on the floor, and deep dish Krager mags on the back. I mean, that thing was pretty. Baby blue, or actually kind of a navy blue, with the black vinyl top, bucket seats. You talking about a chick magnet. Now, that boy was a chick magnet. The ladies loved to be seeing his Malibu going up and down the highway. So, if I told you the story, I don't know if I have. If I did, I'll do it again. Names remain anonymous, but just to tell you, being from the hills of West Virginia, true story, old girl was dating this boy that had him a Dodge Duster. I don't know if you remember those. I think it was a 74 Dodge Duster. It was black, had 2 white racing stripes up over the hood and up over the top of the car and down the back, of course. And so she was all about that. She wanted to be seen in that car all the time. It was just a rite of passage for this young lady to be in this boy's car, and she dated him for that very reason and married him because she loved that car, wanted to be seen in the car. And she told him, and I can remember the day we stood all standing around, she told him, and I quote, "If you ever sell that car, I'll divorce you." And I thought, are you kidding me? We were in high school back in the day. He ultimately sold the car, and she divorced him because he got rid of that Dodge Duster. Oh, me, oh, my. Going back, growing up in the hills of West Virginia. Other thing the guy did, too, I never understood this, and I'll get back to matters at hand, but the Super Chevy Show is going to be a good one coming up this weekend at Bristol Dragway. Never understood why he would put Vaseline on his mags. I never got that. Never did figure. Still don't figure it out. He said, well, it keeps them getting dirty. I said, well, no, it doesn't, because if you put Vaseline on this piece of paper and go outside and put it down in the dirt, what's going to come up off it? It's going to stick. Probably more so than he didn't have any Vaseline on this piece of paper. But my boy, this guy's name was Bob, and so Bob would put Vaseline on his mags to keep them clean. But Bob was in the car wash a lot, spraying stuff off those mags because it collected everything, and he just never did get it. I don't know why, but we all kept telling Bob, this is not what you want to do. You can wax them, and they'll beat up, but if you put Vaseline directly on, just put it on your hand and smear it on these mags, and he would get down and he would take a lot of time putting that Vaseline on those mags. And he'd go down the road and come back, and it was covered in dirt and bugs and everything else, road dirt. Never got that, but anyway, Bob was a different bird, to say the least. So, anyway, Super Chevy Show got off track coming up this weekend, and also the Beef O'Brady's Thunder Valley Mayhem. You've got Pro Mods, Jet Cars, Team FMX Freestyle Bikes, a car-eating dinosaur, the world's quickest wheel stander car, fireworks, and more coming up. And again, also Thunder Valley has 2 drag racing pro rounds at 6:30 and 8:30 on Saturday evening, part of the Thunder Valley Mayhem. Got to be there. It's going to be a great event at Bristol Dragway. And, again, they continue just to bring in great events and great events and great events. And, of course, I was talking to Josh King the other day, one of the great employees at Bristol Motor Speedway, and they are not that far away. In fact, they're already starting to get some of the lights out and start stringing them, and not actually putting them up quite yet, but they're kind of getting them out of the old warehouse and doing a little inventory and checking them and plugging them in back on the back of property before they start putting them up. And so Speedway and Lights not that far away. We're 99 days away from Christmas, so it is not that far away. So Anyway, big event this weekend, the Super Chevy Show, and we'll get this phone thing fixed. We'll have some folks on tomorrow to talk about it. And, again, have no clue. Let's try one more time. There's a dial tone, but when I call out, I get nothing. So I don't know. People call in and get nothing. But so obviously the phone is working, or you wouldn't have the dial tone. I don't know. I don't get it. But it's, as John Paul, George, and Ringo says, there's days, old Tom, if you follow me around, it's the magical mystery tour. You just never know. I want to tell you about my buddy, the Gator Man, again, down at Cherokee Barbershop in South Johnson City. Love that gentleman. He's a great guy and good Christian feller. He, like the rest of us, was going down the wrong path way back when and made a turn. Good Lord got a hold of him, too, like he did me. Did a little 360 and got him pointed the right direction. And Gator's a fine, fine feller. And he does a great job with his male or men's-oriented barbershop. Again, the Cherokee Barbershop located on South Roan Street, right down from Tipton Haynes Working Farm. When that barber pole's out, the Gator Man is in. He also cut the little guy's hair, puts him up on the booster seat. And, again, haircuts are free. You can't beat that. Haircuts are free. You have to buy the cup of coffee. It's $11. Get to keep the cup. But haircuts are free at Cherokee Barbershop. He's open Tuesday through Saturday, and he's always doing stuff for the community and always giving back in different ways. So he's a good guy, and we appreciate him very much. Our buddy Gator from the Cherokee Barbershop on South Roan Street. He be there, and he's got us on. And, hey, Gator, waving at him. And, hey, Gator, it's Goob. Was it Goober did that on Mayberry? Hey, Goob. Goob. Hey, Andy. It's Goober. I think it was Goober, didn't it? Back over here, you can't see it, but there's the Mayberry pennant. I'm a huge fan of the Andy Griffith Show. Wouldn't it be nice to go back to days like that? And so not everything else we deal with on a daily basis, and it seems like not even an hourly basis. But anyway, big fan of Goober and Mayberry. I don't know how I got off on that, but we do like the Andy Griffith Show. It's a Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's run down high school football. We've got Region 1 6A Friday night. As we told you, Maryville Science Hill. Hit that right there again, Tom. There you go. I'm liking that. I'm all about that. Maryville Science Hill. That'll start at 7 o'clock right here on livestream.com. Again, we'll be able to send you the audio cast around the world. If you got friends and neighbors want to hear it, we've put ourselves together a very good broadcast team and looking forward to turn them ponies loose on Friday night. Give you a great coverage of the Maryville Science Hill football game. Hardin Valley goes to Dobbins Minute. Graham Clark and his coaches show that's up and running now. You can go watch it. Very concerned about the team speed of Hardin Valley. The Hawks, pretty good football team. They'll be in Kingsport for homecoming Friday night. You have William Blount at Bearden and Bradley Central at Jefferson County. In 5A football, Daniel Boone will go to Tennessee High. Daniel Boone looking for their first win of the season. The Trailblazers are 0-3 and a very tough 0-3 football team, but they'll take on Tennessee High, who is 3-1, and that'll be Friday night at the Stone Castle. Morristown West at Cobb County. Morristown West at 3-1 and Cobb County at 1-3. So on paper, no question, Morristown West will be the favorite. Sevier County at Morristown East. That should be a dandy. Morristown East, or actually no, I should take that back. I've misread. Morristown East is in last place. They're 0-4, and Sevier County at 3-1. So, yep. That would be probably on paper a mismatch, to say the least. In 4A football, this will be a good one. Greenville at Sullivan East, the Patriot Pasture, and they'll be coming up on Friday night. Sullivan East, again, coming in at 3-0. Greenville 3-0. Greenville ranked second in the state. Actually, Greenville 3-1. And so Sullivan East and Greenville on Friday night from Bluff City. Sullivan South goes to Cherokee. Rebels 3-1. Cherokee at 3-0. That'll be a dandy matchup for Sam Haney against Mike Seibert, two veteran coaches in the region. Haney for South and Seibert for Cherokee. You have Seymour at Sullivan Central and Volunteer at Granger. Sullivan Central 0-4. Cougars trying to get a W and need one for their football program and for their obviously for the morale of the team. When you're 0-3, 0-4 at this point, you need a W. So Boone needs one. Sullivan Central needs one. Cumberland Gap and Concord Christian need them too. They're both, all four of those teams, winless so far this year. And Volunteer at Granger. Volunteer at 1-3 and Granger at 1-2. So the Falcons go on the road to play in Granger County on Friday night. In 3A football, Elizabethton, they are the stuff. They can play it. Elizabethton, again, at 2-1. They'll be in Irwin to battle Unicoi County. Chucky Doak will be up on the mountain in Mountain City to battle the Johnson County Longhorns. in 3A football. Pigeon Forge at West Green and Northview Academy at Claiborne. Those are the teams in 3A football. In 2A, Hampton at Gatlinburg-Pittman, Happy Valley at Cosby. Hampton right now in 2A football. Bulldogs at 3-0. They're ranked in the state this week. They'll go to Gatlinburg-Pittman, who's 1-2. Happy Valley goes to Cosby. The Warriors are 1-2, and Cosby's 1-2. South Green will be at Sullivan North. South Green at 1-3. North undefeated at 3-0 and ranked in the state in 3A football. And North Green will go to Cumberland Gap. Both of those teams at the bottom of the 2A region. So one of them is going to get a big, hard-earned victory. Cumberland Gap yet to win, so they'll get a big, well-deserved victory if they can pull it off and get into the win column for the first time this year. North Green trying to get their second win of the season. And also in 1A football, Concord Christian at Cloudland. And you have Unaka at J.I. Burton and Oakdale at Hancock County. Cloudland at 3-1. Concord Christian at 0-3. Obviously, on paper, that would be Cloudland's game to lose. Unaka at J.I. Burton, Unaka at 1-3, and Oakdale at 0-3, and Hancock County at 2-1. So those are the matchups on Friday night in Tennessee. Of course, our broadcast, again, we started, hit that again, Tom, thank you. 7 o'clock Friday night, Science Hill, Maryville. Go to TomTaylorSports.com, Livestream.com, or where we'll be with that. And then click on Tom Taylor Sports and TomTaylorSports.com, and there will be your football game Friday night, Science Hill and the Maryville Rebels, and it should be an old-fashioned slobber knocker. Can't wait. The number one team in the state, Maryville, you've heard me say that many times. They've won 34 in a row, back-to-back state championships. Is there enough in the tank for Science Hill to knock them off? I think there is, but they got to play a really, really good ball game. No question about that. So we will anticipate having a big house up there. We know there's going to be a big house, big crowd. Keith Turner already starting to do the crowd preliminaries. The athletic director for Science Hill, maybe a bigger crowd than last year's DB game. So some folks may not show up and go, well, they're going to get cream. We're not going to go up there. Maryville's going to wear them out. Well, you don't want to have that attitude. You want to go, everybody's got a chance. And so some folks may want to stay away. They think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a pretty good football game. And so we'll have it for you beginning at 7 o'clock Friday night right here on Livestream.com. It is the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this Wednesday. It is Hump Day, the 16th day of the month. Again, as we told you earlier, fall rolls in here on Monday. It should be a beautiful weekend for high school football, big weekend for college football. We'll take a break. We'll come right back, and we'll give you what's going on as far as ranked teams getting some big football games under their belt, and we'll tell you about that as we get ready for a big weekend of college football. We'll do that right after you hear this. We'll run them down for you, let you know who's playing where. Of course, the Big Orange got a big one maybe not as far as a team, but a good one to get back in the win column and get feeling good about themselves where they open up SEC play a week from Saturday at Florida. Tennessee, of course, hosting again this week. They'll be hosting the Catamounts of Western Carolina out of the Southern Conference. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll move on here as we're into hour number 2 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call, and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on this Wednesday. Again, the 16th day of September. Let's take a look at some high school sports from last night. Science Hill gets a big win. The Lady Hilltopper soccer program defeating Dobbins Bennett. And a big win last night in Johnson City. Again, they're now first place in the league. They're 6-3 on the season. They're 4-0 overall. Dobbins Bennett fell to 3-1 and 5-1 as they win 1-0. Costly win for Science Hill. They lose. Science Hill's Hannah Torbett. Looks like she suffered a knee injury, which is going to be apparently pretty serious, so may not have her back. That's a big loss for the Hilltopper soccer team. Also, Science Hill's volleyball team defeated Daniel Boone last night in a tough one, 25-15. Then they lost 25-14. They came back. You got to win 3 out of 5, and they won 25-17, 25-17. So Mandy Stallard had 22 digs. Abby Higgins dished out 20 assists for Science Hill. And so they win a big one over a very tough and spunky Daniel Boone volleyball team last night. And that was played again in Johnson City at the Topper Gym. Tonight, let's see who's got volleyball tonight. Nope, not much going on tonight. It'll be more tomorrow and Friday. Also, soccer, everything down for soccer tonight, and they'll pick back up tomorrow across the region again. Is the weather not beautiful for soccer and outdoor sports, and just like high school football Friday night? Is it not beautiful? Going to be beautiful. And we ran down who's playing where. Out of fairness, let's get you get you Southwest Virginia. East Side at Lee, Gate City at Bluefield, Hurley at Castlewood, Lebanon at John Battle, Patrick Henry plays at Twin Springs, Richlands at Central Wise, Ridgeview at Union, Rye Cove at Thomas Walker, and UNACO plays at J. Alberton, which you mentioned earlier. So that's teams playing in Virginia. And so that big Friday night for football. We get on our soapbox every day, want to do it again. Please consider going out and supporting your favorite high school team. Kids work hard. Obviously, the players are practicing for the game. The cheerleaders work hard. You say cheerleaders work hard. Well, yeah, absolutely they work hard. They got to learn those, whatever they do up in there. They do the flips and spins and all that. You just don't show up and do that. That's very, very difficult to do, and you got to know what the heck you're doing. There's lots of practice to do that. And so, yes, they work very hard, and they deserve a good crowd to come watch them and of course, respond to the cheers that they put out. The band goes without saying. I still don't know how they do it. I love watching a marching band in a football game. Love it. And in a parade. I'm impressed totally with a young man, a young lady that's walking, and all of a sudden they go this way, and they go back this way, and the guy's pounding the drums. And I'm trying to think, if I'm doing this, okay, am I hitting the right drums? But they got to do that. Remember the formation, not trip over their feet. I mean, there's so much out there. And of course, you know this. You're out there on the field, nowhere to hide. So if you mess up, people. I've been with people before, they have the rifles and they throw them up in the air and they drop them. It's like, oh, he dropped it. Well, yeah, it's easy for us to sit up here and pick them apart. It's not easy to do, obviously. Or the baton. I don't see a lot of cheerleader or majorettes doing batons anymore like they did when I was a kid. But back in the day, we had them to set them on fire and throw them up in the air and twirl a fire-lit baton. So anyway, very, very talented kids to do that. yes, the football players are talented, but these other factions or facets of a football game are very talented as well, and they deserve a big round of applause. They deserve to have folks out there cheering them on, and at halftime, so the folks get up and leaving now to watch the band. It's not just a stopgap till the football game starts, the second half. The band is outstanding. They've worked very hard. They deserve your full attention. I know when we do these band festivals, we just tell folks, hey, don't get up and move around while they're performing. These kids deserve to see, or for you to see them. And so, same with high school halftime bands. I'm all about the bands and love the Science Hill Marching Band, Dr. Vermillion, and, of course, Dobinson's band. Everybody's got a great band. I know Mr. Carrico out Sullivan South works very hard with the band. So these kids deserve to have a big audience on Friday night and your undivided attention. Not just the football game, but the other parts too. There's flag corps and there's dancers and what was it called when we were kids? Flag team. I don't know if they still have flag guards or flag team where they get out there and flip the flag. I'm not sure if that's what they call it anymore, but they're working hard too. They got to learn. And if you go back up top and watch a whole band perform, everything, as you well know, kind of goes to complement the music to the flags, and so on and so forth. So they've all got to be doing it right. And I know I'm preaching to the choir because you've been around football games before, but it is what it is, and I'm just totally impressed and hope that you would get out and support your favorite team Friday night. Weather-wise, you don't know how much longer it's going to be this way, hopefully the rest of the season, but one would have to think, at some point with autumn coming in here officially on Monday, at some point things may change weather-wise. But, again, this weekend, this Friday night should be dandy. Also, Saturday for the UT game should be a good one as well as far as weather. What else happening in sports? Before taking questions from reporters on Monday, Tennessee coach Butch Jones said the blame should be placed squarely on his shoulders. Well, okay, and I would agree with that. The defeat was the most painful for the Volunteers in his 3-year tenure. I didn't realize he was there 3 years already. Tennessee had Oklahoma on the ropes, 17-0 lead in the first half, maintained a 17-3 lead in the fourth quarter, but lost the game, as you know, in double overtime, 31-24. Why are you bringing them back up? Simply to say Butch Jones says this is my fault. Jones did say he had no regrets for kicking the field goal in the fourth and goal at the 1-yard line on the Vols' first possession of the game. Sophomore kicker Aaron Medley made the 19-yard field goal, but 4 more points might have made for a deficit too large for Oklahoma to close. Easy to say, sit back and double second guess, or say, hey, we would have done it differently. Maybe yes, maybe no. It's easy to say here, Wednesday, 4 days after the fact, oh, this is what I would have done. Or even that day, this is what I'd done. You're down in front of 102,000 screaming crazy folks wanting a victory, needing a victory, and you made a decision you thought was right at the time, and there you go. Am I defending the man? No, but it's easy, the old Indian saying, walk a mile in my shoes. Well, we're paying him big bucks to make those decisions. Okay, so he was wrong. He said he was wrong. He takes the heat for the moves and takes the hit for the calls, although he said I would have kicked the field goal again had the same scenario come up. So you can get mad at him if you want to, but once again, it's easy to sit back and let's see. He's also caught criticism on social media. Said the Vols were too conservative in their offensive play calling, especially in the second half. Vols didn't score from the 12-14 mark of the second quarter until overtime. They recorded just 93 yards in the second half and 2 overtime periods. Tennessee did not record a first down in the fourth quarter and combined for just 7 in the second half and the 2 overtimes. Now, been around this a while, so it may have been part of that. It may have been the fact that Bob Stoops went in and made changes in his coaching staff. They reacted to the plays on the field, and so I didn't see the game. I've seen some of the highlights, but, when you're a perennial power like Oklahoma, you got a great staff and great kids. He made changes, and, he shut these guys down. The defense tightened up. Well, we just had 93 yards in the second half and 2 overtime periods. Not a lot of yardage, that's right, but their defense apparently played lights out. Didn't record a first down in the fourth quarter and combined for just 7 in the second half and the 2 overtimes. So 2 quarters and 2 overtimes, you had 7 first downs and 93 yards. That is a shutdown defensively, especially given the fact you were pretty much had it your own way in the first half, 17-0, at one point 17-3, and all of a sudden they flipped the switch, they figured it out, and they shut down the Vol offense. I think that's very hard to figure out. Do you like it? Maybe not. Apparently you don't. And I can't say that I blame you if you're a Tennessee fan, but, give some credit to Oklahoma. It's not just what Oklahoma or Tennessee didn't do. It's what Oklahoma did do. And I think that's in large part what a lot of folks are forgetting. This was a good football team came to town. They were 19th, now 16th in the country. And, they found a way to win, and they made the changes on the field on the fly. They were flexible. Proof's in the pudding. All right, so top 25 teams, here we go. They look like this for this weekend. Tomorrow night, number 11, Clemson plays at Louisville, 7:30 kickoff. Louisville looking for a victory in a big-time way. And, of course, Clemson getting ready to go tomorrow night, the Clemson Tigers, if you will. Clemson with a record of 2-0. Louisville 0-2 and looking for a major W in their conference opener. That'll be tomorrow night. On Friday, Florida State plays at Boston College. The 9th-ranked Seminoles of Jimbo Fisher will be on the road. Florida State at 2-0 and Boston College at 2-0. Should be a good one. Get up in, Chestnut Hill in Massachusetts. Should be a good one there. On Saturday, number 1 Ohio State. Should not be a good one against Northern Illinois. They should blow them off the field. They should, but I think Toledo proved to Arkansas's fan base that's not always the case. But number 1 Ohio State takes on Northern Illinois. Here's one. I was going to highlight it. Here it is. Here is a definite one. We talked about this yesterday. Get some folks on tomorrow and get this phone fixed. Alabama and Ole Miss on Saturday. Number 2 Alabama, number 15 Ole Miss. That should be a bond bunner. Let's see. Number 3 TCU and SMU. Number 4 Michigan State and Air Force. Number 6 Southern Cal and Stanford. Number 7 Georgia and South Carolina. That's a good one. That's going to be a good ball game down between the hedges, and that'll be at 6 o'clock on Saturday. Notre Dame, and by the way, go Dogs. I don't know if you can see that. Go Dogs. Love me some Mark Richt. Love that man's Christian stance, and go Dogs. Number 8, Notre Dame. Number 14, Georgia Tech will square off on Saturday. That's going to be a good one. Number 10, UCLA. Number 19, BYU. That's going to be a good one. So we're up to, 4 pretty good ball games. 12th-ranked Oregon and Georgia State. No, not so much. Oh, here's another barn burner, too. You talking about, going to be some good ones Saturday. Number 16, LSU. Number 13, LSU. And number 18, Auburn will square off. So Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, South Carolina, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, UCLA, BYU, and LSU, Auburn. 5 good ones so far. Number 16, Oklahoma takes on Tulsa. Number 17, Texas A&M takes on Nevada. Nah. Number 20, Arizona, Northern Arizona. Nah. Number 21, Utah and Fresno State. No. Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't see Utah. It could be okay. Number 22, Missouri and UConn. No. Number 23, Northwestern at Duke. No. Let's see. Wisconsin at Troy, the 24th-ranked Badgers. No. Badgers all the way. At number 25, Oklahoma State against UTSA. That's a 3:30 kickoff for the Cowboys. And UTSA, nah. Cowboys all the way on that one, too. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, before I go back, let me make sure here. Northwestern at Duke. Make sure I don't misstep here. Let me see where Duke is, or Northwestern. Northwestern is 2-0. All right, where's Duke? Duke is 2-0. Change that. Should be a pretty good ball game. See, I'm always okay to make changes. So Duke, where is that at? Duke and Northwestern, they'll be at Duke at a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. So 6 pretty good ball games to take in and get interested in for college football. Of course, the Big Orange taking on Western Carolina, and that'll be coming up again. 7 o'clock kickoff. Western Carolina 1-1. Tennessee at 1-1. Virginia Tech goes on the road. The Hokies will travel to Purdue, both 1-1 on a 3:30 kickoff in Indiana. And also, of course, East Tennessee State tomorrow night. The Bucs will be on the road at Charleston Southern. Former Buccaneer player loving the Bucs. Of course, they're the Bucs too. So you got 2 teams that are nicknamed Buccaneers. So the ETSU Bucs will play the Charleston Southern Bucs tomorrow night, and that ball game will be a good football game, and it's one that ETSU would probably need to get, and I'm not sure they can, but they're going to give it everything they can, of course. But I was trying to see where to get 0-2 and Charleston Southern at 1-1 tomorrow night at 7 o'clock is the kickoff in Charleston, South Carolina. It is the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We thank you for being with us. We got an update. We told you yesterday they fired Steve Patterson, the athletic director of Texas. We've got an update on that story. Mike Brown was the one that was being batted around to be his replacement as the AD at Texas. we'll find out more about that. Also, Coach Harbaugh up in Michigan says, I'm not totally opposed to bringing back the Michigan-Notre Dame rivalry, which has been a good one down through the years. And so he said, I'm not that opposed to that. So you may see that come back around very, very soon with the Michigan Wolverines and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Our buddy Dr. Barry Walton of Max Medicine Mart, Twin Lab, 20% off the month of September at Max Medicine Mart. And they got so many different items over there, and it's 20% off all day, every day. Ran into some folks last night taping the Graham Clark Show, and he said, now, we hear you do your show. We love the show. I said, well, thank you. Appreciate that. They said, now, it's all day, every day. I said, yes, ma'am. You can go in, and you can make a purchase right now at $12.25. You can go back in at 3 o'clock, and it's 20% again. It's not a coupon. It's all day, every day. So we can just keep going back. You can go back in, spend as much as you want, Twin Lab, every time. You can go buy it today, go back tomorrow and buy another one. It's going to be 20% through the end of September. Then they've also got, he's going to talk about the flu shot. Flu shots are already encouraging you to go out and get your flu shot. Talking to the little people yesterday, and I said, and of course, David Crum backed this up. We'll have him on the show tomorrow. We'll get this phone fixed. And so we talked to Crum talked to him last week about the winter and Mother Nature showing signs of a cold and heavy winter. One of those is the nut crop. And, the nuts are very, very prevalent. I know here at the old homestead, the oak trees and where I go in my travels, oak trees are hanging full. You walk underneath an oak tree and see all those nuts down there crunching. If that means fell, that means still up there. So it's a heavy nut crop for the winter. Where am I going with this Max Medicine Mart, you ask? Well, it's because at Max, you make tracks to Max. And, again, the Twin Lab is 20% off. Also, they've got the where was I going with this, as a matter of fact? What was I going to tell you? Oh, the candles. I'm sorry. You got the candles. Fall's in the air. They've got the pumpkin spice. They've got the apple-scented candles. They've got those available at Max Medicine Mart. Also got the gluten-free snacks when you go out to the ball games and tailgate. And so fall looks like it's going to be a heavier than normal fall season with the nut crop that's out there right now. And so at Max Medicine Mart, they're encouraging you to get your flu shot. And so the flu shot would be available right now because they are calling for a tougher winter than normal. And one would get it now. It takes about 2 weeks, I think Dr. Walton said, for it to kick into your system. And so we would encourage you to do that. And get your flu shot is now available at Max Medicine Mart. We'll talk about that again, hopefully get him on if we can get this phone fixed. Got some folks working behind the scenes, I just got told, trying to get this thing fixed. So we'll work diligently to make that happen. If not, we'll have it ready to go for you tomorrow. Tom Taylor Sports Show again coming up. Buffalo Bills want him. Tom Brady says, you got me. We're coming. We'll tell you about that. A little smack talk going on between the Bills and the Patriots. Boy, that's a surprise, is it not? Back with more on this Wednesday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
American Import Auto Repair takes a lot of pride in their work and customer service. Owner Kim Smith tells us why someone should consider American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City.
Well, of course, the first thing is you want to make sure that people are getting value for their dollar. Our emphasis is on quality, not quantity. We want to make sure that not only is the job being done, but it's done right with quality parts, with highly trained technicians. All of our technicians are ASE certified. We have several master techs, which is the highest you can get in the ASE. And ASE is a program that certifies people to the top level of their industry in car repair. We want people to feel comfortable. We never twist people's arms. Like I said, it's about quality. We want people to be happy. We want them to come back. We want a good name. You know, we're customers of other businesses. We wanted to be treated right, so we'd like to treat our customers right.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City. Call today at 913-3111. Kingsport Cabinetry installs cabinets and countertops all over the three-state region. I asked owner Richard Isaacs, is there a template or is the sky the limit?
Pretty much the sky's the limit. We have a very good drawing system that you come in, tell me what you want. If you have a set of house plans that you're working with, you're building a new house, we can take it off the house plans, we can draw it up, do you 3D drawings where you can see exactly where all the doors, the drawers, the color of the cabinets, kind of get close to the color of the countertops in your drawings, go over that with you, then you can say, well, Richard, let's change this. I'd rather for that door to open the other way, or I want that cabinet to be bigger, that cabinet to be smaller. We can customize it to your needs. You know, it's all about what the customer wants. We want them to be happy when they leave here.
Kingsport Cabinetry. Call Richard Isaacs today at 247-6134.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this Wednesday. Thank you for being with us. Wearing my Bracken Paving ball cap. I like it. Apester said she liked it. By the way, I tell you periodically, but the hair, somebody asked me today about your hair. I said, well, I'm over 18. I can do what I want, of course, but just for your FYI, I'm growing it for Locks for Love again. I have it snipped off later on in the year so they can make wigs for cancer patients. So that's what we do it for, and we do it. We whack it off or cut it back, trim it, and turn around and let it grow back out again. So Gator will get a chance to do that when we get ready to give up our hair for Locks for Love. So anyway, what else going on in the world of sports again on this Wednesday? And let's bring you up to speed. Mike Brown says he's not interested in the AD job, but the candidate list is very impressive. Mike Brown telling folks he's not interested in becoming Texas's next athletic director, longtime Longhorns coach, working as a college football analyst for ESPN. Continues to be interested in a return to coaching if the right job comes along, but not interested in being an AD. It is believed that Texas will make Brown part of its search committee to find a permanent athletic director to replace Steve Patterson, who resigned under pressure yesterday. For now, Houston attorney and former Longhorn linebacking great Mike Perrin will serve as the school's interim athletic director. And Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby says he's not interested. And so here are the top candidates in no particular order appearing to be the front runners for the AD job at Texas. That would be Oliver Luck, executive vice president of regulatory affairs for the NCAA. Greg Byrne, the AD at Arizona. Tom Jurek, the AD at Louisville, who was Charlie Strong, the coach's former boss at Louisville. Jeff Long, the current Arkansas athletic director. John Curry, the athletic director at Kansas State. Chris Del Conte, the TCU AD. Mark Hollis, the AD at Michigan State. And Scott Strickland, the athletic director of Mississippi State. Those appear to be the front runners for the athletic director job. But again, Mike Brown said thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to stay in the broadcast booth, and hopefully when it's all said and done, I get me another job coaching. So pretty good candidates there, I will say that. And so we'll see how that goes. But apparently some folks wanting some changes quickly for that program in Austin, Texas, Hook 'em Horns. How about this? Here's another great story about Peyton Manning. Say what you want to about the guy. Of course, around here he is very well revered, and well he should be. Peyton Manning spent the first 14 years of his career in Indianapolis, where he revitalized a franchise and brought home a Lombardi Trophy after the 2006 season. Future Hall of Famer left plenty of fans in Indiana. One of those fans, Carrie Bollig, B-O-L-L-I-G, has stage 4 breast cancer. Doesn't know how long she has to live, and with nothing to lose, she wrote to Peyton Manning. Being an Indiana girl, I have followed Peyton Manning forever. I just thought, well, shoot, I'm going to write him a letter. I'm dying, and tell him how much he inspires me, not just because he's a football player, for what he does off the field. It was very personal. It was very heartfelt. I never thought anything of it other than I wrote it and sent it. Didn't even know he would even get it. Manning got it, and he read it. And then he flew Bowling and her husband to Denver for last Sunday's season opener against the Ravens. There were sideline passes before the game, a tour of the team facility, and a chance to watch Saturday's walk-through practice. Oh, and Bowling also got to meet Peyton Manning. Walked right over after he got his picture taken. It was so sweet because he shakes my hand and says, "I'm Peyton Manning." It was cute. It was kind of like, I know who you are, Peyton. Before Manning and Bowling parted ways, he offered this: "Keep fighting, Kerry. I'll be praying for you." Whew. That's good stuff there now. That's what it's all about. And so Peyton Manning, a young lady with stage 4 breast cancer with, again, not much hope apparently, but he gave her hope. And flew her and her husband out to Denver for the weekend, as I said, and got a chance to meet him. And the last thing he said was, "Keep fighting, Kerry. I'll be praying for you." Isn't that nice? That's class, folks. That takes the place of all these other yo-yos out there doing whatever they're doing. Those kind of stories there, that's what we should be talking about all the time. Not just, oh, here's a fluff story. That should be the rule instead of the exception, quite frankly. But, again, kudos to Peyton Manning, again, doing that for that young lady. And I'm sure he didn't do it for us to be talking about it here in Northeast Tennessee on the show, because I don't think that's his style. But it got out that that's what he did, and that's what he did. So pretty impressive stuff. Peyton Manning doing a very nice gesture for a dying fan in Indiana. So very, very nice. It's a Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, go to the website, TomTaylorSports.com. Coaches' shows are there, the Stacey Carter Show, the Graham Clark Show, the Sean Witten Show. Our show here is very much there. And so it'll be there later on when we upload it on the podcast. And then also you've got the ball game on Friday night, Science Hill and Maryville this week. Next week we go to Daniel Boone. Next Friday night we'll be at Gray at Daniel Boone. But this Friday night is the Whamma Jamma. Going to be a good football game. And, again, it's top-ranked Maryville, 34-game winning streak, back-to-back state championships in 6A football, taking on the Hilltoppers of Stacey Carter. Carter, again, tying Bob May, Coach Carter did, on the all-time wins list at Science Hill with 40 wins under his belt. And this, his 6th season, you can do the math, he's having a pretty good run in 5 seasons. He's he's 3-0 this year, so he had 37 wins in 5 seasons. Let's see, 5 into 37 would be 7. So he's averaging 7 wins a season. Got this thing turned around at Science Hill. So anyway, big ball game. 7 o'clock airtime on Friday night with the Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen pregame show. Kickoff at 7:30. Our halftime brought to you by, again, Center Street Wealth Management Group, Wells Fargo, Greg Taylor and Tim Colvin, and Natalie Wells and Jeff Bedford, and our postgame show as well. Friday night brought to you by Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen, which is a very, very good product. I can tell you that. And you need it even this Saturday. If you're going to be out watching the ball games, going to be out in the full sun, whether you're hunting or outside playing around, working the leaves, whatever you're doing, you need the sunscreen on. As Jeff Bedard told us a couple of weeks ago, the president and CEO of Blue Lizard, this is the time of year you need it more than really the summertime, because folks think, it's the fall, and it's not. We're not laying out in the summer, not at the beach. Well, the Rays are still the Rays, and so you need to protect yourself. And nothing. Had a couple of buddies over the last 10, 15 years die of skin cancer, so I've watched it, and so once in them both, would tell you that they stayed out in the sun too long and got burnt pretty good, especially as little kids. And it kind of stayed in their system and just kind of exploded and took them. So skin cancer, very serious stuff. And Blue Lizard, again, protect yourself with that SPF from Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen, which is good stuff, and we appreciate them. Again, our buddies very, very much at Blue Lizard, made right here in Johnson City, goes all over the world at Crown Laboratories in South Johnson City. So an impressive place, and it put out a great, great product, and it is known around the world and made right here in the Tri-Cities. To know how important Michigan tradition is to Jim Harbaugh, you don't have to look any farther than his hat, which uses the same M logo worn by his old coach and Michigan legend Bo Schembechler. So it's no surprise when asked about the possibility of renewing the Wolverines' rivalry with Notre Dame, Harbaugh said, hey, he'd be open to playing them again. I'll probably have a conversation with Brian Kelly about that before anyone else. That'd be the best course of action, who's the coach of Notre Dame, but I would be open to it, yes. Harbaugh's comments come fresh on the heels of Kelly saying that the potential for renewal between the two is trending up. I think it'll be a great renewal of a great rivalry because they've been playing for many, many years. Let's see. 2000, when was the last time? 2014, the final scheduled meeting in a rivalry between two of college football's all-time winningest teams that spanned 128 years. Wow. It's pretty impressive. So, anyway, Harbaugh says, I'm not opposed to renewing the rivalry with Notre Dame, so we'll see if that comes to fruition. He said, hey, we'll do it if we need to. We can make that happen. Tom Taylor Sports Show, quick break. We'll be right back. We are going to be joined by our buddy from Champion Chevrolet, Mr. Tim Copenhaver, right here on this commercial. Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile in Johnson City.
Trucks, and more trucks. At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, we have Silverado trucks everywhere with discounts up to $11,000 off MSRP on select Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. 15 Spark, $10,995. 15 Sonic, $12,995. 15 Track, $17,995. 15 Equinox, $20,995. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where they leave you asking, how do they do that?
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thank you for being with us. One of our great sponsors. Love promoting this gentleman, his great company, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics. 40 years, the same family, one family, now in 6 locations: Kingsport, Bristol, Greenville, Pounding Mill, Virginia, Abington, and Norton. We'll tell you those specific street addresses coming up here in a few minutes. Here's the number you want to remember: 1-800-524-4447 is the number to call. And Will Graybill, the owner, is with us. And Will, diabetes, it is becoming a rampant problem in certainly the United States, but even more so here locally. I know one of the races at Bristol back in the spring race, the Drive to Stop Diabetes 300. So it's out there, and you help a lot of folks with diabetes. And tell us about that from Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, we do have a lot of patients that are diabetics. I would say way more than half of our patients come in with a diabetic problem, whether it's needing diabetic shoes and inserts because they have a foot wound, doing some sort of other device to help with that wound through the wound care clinics, coming in and help offloading the pressure, getting rid of the doctor will take care of the underlying, maybe the infection that's going on, but they need us to help take care of the wound and keep the pressure away from that. Pressure and friction, and then the lack of sensation is what causes a lot of these wounds, and then those wounds can lead to amputations, and we certainly see a ton of patients that come in with amputation. Years ago, we might have had 2 or 3 people come in for legs per month, and it was usually an industrial accident, a car accident, occasional diabetic patient maybe, but now I would say we probably have about 20 to 30 patients per month that come in, and more than half of those, probably closer to 90% of those, are from diabetic-related issues. So we're seeing people that come in that have been diagnosed with diabetes for 15, 20 years, they're juvenile diabetic, and it's not just obesity we're seeing. It's people that skinny as a rail come in and they've had issues with diabetes and just uncontrolled and sure what's going on with them, and then they go in and they come with a wound. And I've had several patients that in fact that didn't know they were diabetic until they lost their leg, just didn't know what was going on. And so we see those patients on a daily basis. Where we come in and where we can bring hope is when they find the problem, they can take care of the problem. The physician, either through amputation or through a wound care clinic, then we can come in and provide a device that helps with the pain, helps get them back up on their feet again. Literally, when they are an amputee, they are getting back up on 2 feet again, and life is back to the new normal for them. We always kind of coin it's like having eyeglasses. You get up in the morning, put your eyeglasses on, you don't think much about it. But then if you went without them, you'd definitely notice it. So with an amputee, we get them back to where they get up, they put their prosthesis on, and they go about a normal life every day. And it's nice to see that reward as they come through the door like that. And we work with all the wound care clinics down at Laughlin Hospital in Greenville, Tacoma Outpatient Wound Care down in Greenville. Kingsport has their wound care clinic at Wellmont Hospital. There's also one at Abingdon at the Mountain States Hospital in Abingdon, the wound care clinic there. And then, of course, with Dr. Gwaltney there in Bristol, we do a lot of, that's the original wound care clinic in the area. And we do a lot of patients over there. Charlie is sort of our main wound care guru, as we call him. People come in with foot wounds and problems, and he can definitely take care of them. That's sort of our every day we know that we're going to see a patient coming in with a problem, with a wound or an amputation, and we've got plenty of devices. Most of the stuff that we do with the diabetics, we're making in-house, seeing them multiple times beyond what we're normally supposed to do by the insurance regulation. We still want them coming in, follow up with us, and get them healed and keep them healed. That's our whole goal.
And they do it very well. 40 years, 6 locations, the same family. It's awesome. 1-800-524-4447 is the number to call. 6 locations. Again, the newest locations in Norton, Virginia, Park Avenue Southwest, Abington on Porterfield Highway, Pounding Mill, Virginia on Short Street, in Greenville, an office there on Justice Drive, in Bristol on Highway 126, right up from Still Creek Park, and also in Kingsport on Broad Street. 40 years, 6 locations, 1 family, and they're a phone call away. 1-800-524-4447. They also offer clinics in Withfield, and Abington, Lebanon, Norton, Sevierville, Mountain City, Newland, North Carolina, and Linville, North Carolina. So they're all over the place. They're a phone call away. Website is bristolonp.com. 1-800-524-4447. Again, the great folks, again, Will Graybill and the great staffs at Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, right here, as you've heard them, on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, one of our great sponsors making this show go. Some of the things that we look at.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the parts. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. Whether lying on the beach, just working in your yard, or watching NASCAR racing this weekend in Bristol, your skin needs protection from the harmful effects of the sun. Blue Lizard Sunscreen delivers broad-spectrum SPF 30-plus protection that comes with smart bottle technology. Our bottle changes colors in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. It's the brand most recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Plus, it's made right here in the Tri-Cities. Blue Lizard Sunscreen. We've got you covered.
but so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And our buddy, of course, the one, the only, Taylor Geese Sanders, great job. And again, the national anthem here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. You can go to their website, TomTaylorSports.com. It's all there for you. Coaches' shows are up and running, and got to check them out. Again, these guys are very, very good. I'll say this. They don't, they're not media people by design. They're coaches, but they do a good job. And I know in some of the other places I've worked, we've worked with coaches in the past, and it was a lot of and duh, and that's okay because they're not media folks to begin with. But with these three gentlemen, Sean Witten and Stacy Carter and Graham Clark, I mean, they're very poised on the camera, and they do a great job. And we have highlights of the previous game. We preview the upcoming game. Of course, Friday night, Science Hill's got Maryville, and Dobbin's got a very good Hardin Valley team, and Elizabethton will travel to Unicoi County, take on a pesky Blue Devil team. So they're all three there. They're there now, and it's video on demand. So the beauty of that is you don't have to go sit down and watch it somewhere. You can watch it right now, stop it, hit it again, start all over again. It's called video and audio on demand. That is the wave of the future. Folks say it's not, but I promise you it is. That's the way things are going, and so you can watch it, turn right around, hit it again. Or the best thing is, and even neater, this happened last year when we did the football games on the video stream, was Joe Schmo would say, hey, my kid scored this touchdown, and he would forward the whole game to someone else. And so we had over 10,000 viewers on that football game. That's still up there, too, as a matter of fact. The Dobbins win at Science Hill Halloween game a year ago, which is obviously looming on the horizon down the end of the season this year for the rematch in Kingsport. So anyway, TomTaylorSports.com. Coaches' shows are there. The football broadcast will be there and are there. And also today's show and different shows of the daily event of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Now, is all 140 shows there? No, they're not there. But we've got this new system kicked in as of Monday. And so everything, this is our 140th show today. So everything is kicking in, and we are going to put it up there each and every day to TomTaylorSports.com. We say thank you for being with us again on this Wednesday. Again, let's see if we had the phone a while ago. Tell you what, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but when that phone has a dial tone, I can call out, and people can call in, but neither one of them can hear each other. I can't hear them. They can hear me. That blows my mind. I mean, I'm just an old country boy, and I can't figure that one out. Tom Brady says we're coming. Yeah, Buffalo Bill said we want you, and he said you're going to get us. Brady, of course, being Tom Brady, he and his crew set to head into Buffalo, Ralph Wilson Stadium for Week 2. It'll be it's early, but for first place in the AFC East. Brady says we'll be there for a pretty exciting game. He says, well, we'll be there. Brady's kind of giggling about it. He said, or laughing. Sunday at 1 o'clock is going to be a pretty exciting game. They obviously have a lot of confidence. Coach Ryan, Rex has brought that to a lot of places he's coached. We'll be ready to go. They're not an easy team to prepare for, but we'll be ready to go when the ball's kicked off. If you love football, Sunday at 1 o'clock in Orchard Park, New York will be a great place to be, twixt the Patriots and Bills, end quote, from Tom Brady. So Patriots and Brady specifically are a different animal. It's way beyond hilarious for the Bills. They took care of business against the Colts, a very good Super Bowl-type team. Since coming into the National Football League, Tom Brady has played the Bills 26 times. How about this? What do you think his record is against the Bills, head-to-head? Tom Brady, 26 times. He is 23-3 against Buffalo. Good grief. 58 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, and he owns the Bills. So, obviously, if you have played him 26 times and beat him 23 times, you own him. And so the Bills and the Patriots will square off again at 1 o'clock on Sunday in Orchard Park, New York. I have no clue what the weather's going to be. You would have to think that far north from where we are going to be a little cooler. That'll be a good one coming up on Sunday. Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Let's talk about Tennessee football team. The Volunteers. Taking this out of an article from the AP sports writer, give him props in the Kingsport Times News. Tennessee's passing attack is still searching for the right connection. I think that's a fair statement. Was not impressed with Joshua Dobbs. Me. I don't know, maybe other folks were, but he just wasn't wild by what he did. You know, maybe I hope it's not if it's a pattern, then I think Tennessee's got some problems, but I hope it's just a one-time thing. Only 13 out of 31 attempts last week. Tennessee does not have any of the Southeastern Conference's top 44 players in yards receiving. So, offensive coordinator Mike DeBoard said UT's completion rate is down because the Vols have gotten into too many third and long situations that lead to low percentage passing situations. Coach Butch Jones says there's room for improvement in all aspects of the Vols' passing attack. I think that's an understatement. So anyway, Dobbs 13 out of 31. Again, 52% of his passes he's completed as the volunteer quarterback. So, of course, after racing to a 17-0 lead in the game's first 18 minutes, Tennessee didn't score again until overtime. So, 2 games into the season, Tennessee has no one with more than 5 catches or 61 yards receiving. So, but again, the point is that'll get changed on Saturday. They should have it their own way pretty easily, I would think, against Western Carolina. No knock on them, but it is a checkbook game. They're going to get a big check, and Tennessee's going to open up the checkbook, get a W, and write them a check and send them back to Colby, North Carolina with an L more than likely, and, a big fat check. And they'll be able to get healthy by padding the stats. Now, I say that. Again, Toledo made that not happen down in Arkansas last week, and some of the other teams that have been knocked off already. So that's not a gimme, but you would think if I'm a gambling man, and I'm not, I'll go odds in favor of the Vols on Saturday. No question for that on the Saturday night kickoff. We are about to complete hour number 2 here. We'll stay on for a little while longer. We've got guests lined up and ready to go. But, again, with this phone situation, I want to get off here and get it fixed so I can get ready for tomorrow and Friday. So we'll stay on for a little while longer. Then we're going to kind of cut out a little bit early today. Denver at Kansas City tomorrow night in National Football League play. Be a good ball game, AFC West. Again, Denver, Kansas City, and both 1-0. Obviously, after week number 1, the only team in the division that lost, let me guess, the Raiders. And they did. They lost, of course. And so San Diego, Kansas City, and Denver all got W's. And Denver, Peyton, the boys will be in Kansas City tomorrow night for a short week after coming off that that win, I should say, for the Broncos and their win over Baltimore, 19-13. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, the chase starts on Sunday at Chicagoland. Let's run them down for you. Again, Jimmy Johnson has won 4 times, has only one top 5 finish in his last 9 races, as Hendrick Motorsports has struggled all summer long, and gets a understatement. He'll be in the chase. Also, Kyle Busch won 4 races, missed the first 11 with a broken right leg, received a waiver to become chase eligible. I've read where folks are really put out because he got that. I don't understand why. I mean, it was not his fault. I mean, the guy's lucky to be walking. I mean, he's lucky to be racing and driving a race car. He's back and won 4 races. So I would look at it as an inspirational type situation for me, but some folks don't. But I like Kyle Busch; he's my driver. But I don't understand why they would be upset because they received a waiver to become Chase eligible. Okay, but he produced. It was not a gimme. He had to do what he had to do to be inside the top 30 in points, and he did. He actually won 4 races. So it wasn't like we're just going to hand you a free pass to come in, and they gave him a pass to get into the chase, but he had to earn it. So, and he did. Matt Kenseth, also Joe Gibbs, won 4 races, including the regular season finale at Richmond, to earn a tie for the top seat. He won 3 of the last 6 races. This guy's on fire for Joe Gibbs. Joey Logano, the Daytona 500 champion, won 3 races, made it to the 4-driver finale last season, where a bad pit stop derailed his title hopes. Of course, he won the Urban Tools Night Race, as you know, and so Logano's in the chase. Kevin Harvick, the defending state champ, won his first career Sprint Cup Series championship last year in his debut season with Stewart-Haas Racing. Won 2 races with 10 runner-up finishes, and he's the defending, I said state champ, but I caught myself, defending Sprint Cup champ is Kevin Harvick. Also in the chase starting Sunday, Dale Earnhardt Jr. won 2 races, enters the chase with 4 straight top 10s. Very consistent. He'll be in the nationwide ride. Also, Kurt Busch from Stewart-Haas Racing, winning 2 races, suspended for the first 3 of the season. He is the champion back in 2004. Carl Edwards left Roush Fenway Racing to join a new 4th team at Joe Gibbs Racing and has won 2 races. That was a good move. We talk about a team that's in disarray. Roush Fenway Racing, they do not have a driver in the chase for the first time since 2004. What is that, 11 years? They got guys over there, Greg Biffle, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Trevor Bayne that are struggling, to say the least. And now you're looking at Chris Buescher coming up out of the Xfinity Series. David Reagan's looking for a ride. Clint Boyer, both of those guys looking for a ride by virtue of Michael Waltrip Racing shutting down. So I'm looking to see some shuffling in the offseason in Roush Fenway Racing. Who else in the chase? We mentioned Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, Penske Racing. A 6-race winner last year, won only once this season. He was the champion 2 years ago, 2012. Actually, 3 years ago. Martin Truex Jr., what a start he had. Won his 3rd career race at Pocono, make it as a 1-car team with his Furniture Row Racing Chevrolet. Let's see, who else in the chase? You have Denny Hamlin. Tore the ACL in his right knee and raced at Richmond, won 1 race. So all 4 Gibbs guys are in, Edwards and Busch and Kenseth and Hamlin. Chip Ganassi Racing, Felix Sabates' Jamie McMurray made his first career chase, 2nd driver to earn the berth for owner Chip Ganassi. Also, Jeff Gordon's in. That was great to see. Trying to win his 5th career championship in his final season. That's my guy. I want him to win. Going out on a high, I'd like to see the guy win it. Also, Rocket Ryan Newman's in. Nearly won the championship last season, finishing 2nd to Kevin Harvick. Winless entering the chase for the 2nd straight season, but he's in on points. Paul Menard made his first career chase, joining Ryan Newman as Richard Childress Racing's drivers in the field. You know, they were having an awful year, and all of a sudden here in the end, they got 2 guys in, Menard and Ryan Newman for RCR Racing. And then also the getting ready to shut down Michael Waltrip Racing has Clint Boyer. Coming off his 3rd straight winless season, free agent, driving in his final season of Michael Waltrip Racing. So that's the chase for you again in that order. Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick, Dale Jr., Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Jimmy McMurray, Jeff Gordon, Ryan Newman, Paul Menard, and Clint Boyer. That's the 16 to make up the field, and the roll-off Sunday at Chicagoland to get ready to get that kicked in and rolling for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship. So going to be a lot of fun. It'll all wind up in November. As we said, in November, they'll wind her down in Homestead, Florida. Volleyball from last night. Science Hill defeated Daniel Boone. Dobbins Middle defeated Sullivan Central. Sullivan South defeated Elizabethton. Also in volleyball last night, Sullivan North defeated Unicoi County. In Virginia, Gate City defeated John Battle. Lee at Union defeated Lee, I should say. Wise Central defeated Ridgeview. All that in volleyball. And soccer last night, Science Hill beats Dobbins Middle 1-0. University High blanks Sullivan South 4-0. And again in golf yesterday, you had the Sullivan South defeating University High, and the girls, it's a duel. The guys and the girls won. And so the medalist was Austin Carter. No, Austin's a great kid. Shot a 35 for Sullivan South. And the medalist for the girls was Caitlin Grills from South, and she shot a 41. Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Thanks for being with us. TomTaylorSports.com is where you want to go. That's where everything's at right now. It's a menu board of what you want to watch, whether it's the Stacey Carter Coaches Show that's up there right now, or the Graham Clark Coaches Show, or the Sean Whitten Coaches Show. All three of those are there, ready to go. Every Wednesday at noon, come out with a brand new show. We talked to Coach Carter about the obvious. Maryville coming to town. Go ahead and hit that screen right there, Tom. Let them know where we're going to be Friday night. There you go. Going to be a lot of fun. Number 1 team in the state coming. You'll probably hear that another 25 times before Friday. You say, I'm sick of hearing about that. Not every day you bring in the number 1 team in the state. And it is the school that everybody measures, they should measure your football program with. Back-to-back state championships in, 14 and 13. They've won 34 straight games. They've won, I've got it somewhere. I have to go back and look. 14, so am I right? 14 state championships in the career at Maryville High. Maybe high, but they've won a bunch, 2 in a row in 14 and 13. And in a pretty good position already here in 2015. So not every day the team of that kind of caliber rolls into your home field. So Johnson City's buzzing about the Mystique-filled Maryville Rebels coming to town. And so we'll go on air the broadcast at 7 o'clock on Friday night. With the kickoff at 7:30, you can hear Stacey talk about Maryville and what they've got to do to beat them, and talk about the win over Urban, North Carolina as well. And you just simply go to TomTaylorSports.com, and it's there. Also, the Graham Clark Coaches Show. Man, what a crazy game, 49-41. They were down 14-0 to start the game. Dobbins went it down 14-0 and win 49-41 in a shootout, obviously. And so that shows up and ready to go at TomTaylorSports.com. Sean Whitten turned back a very stubborn and pesky Daniel Boone football team. He was very complimentary of Gabe Sanders, the player for Daniel Boone, who is a gamer, no question. He's a hard-nosed young'un. And he said, Boone's got one of the biggest lines in the region. They're huge. And, again, they beat him 21-7. So he gets ready to talk about Unicoi County back in conference play. So all three of these shows are audio and video on demand. What does that mean for you? That means you can watch it, stop it, watch it again. It's not like a traditional TV where you have to sit down in front of the TV at a certain hour and watch it. You can watch these shows at 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon. You can email them on to someone else at forward and say, hey, check out old Tom scoring his touchdown. So that's the beauty of these shows, and they're there every Wednesday through the fall. Well, they stay up forever, but they're there every Wednesday with a new show coming out each week, and so we're very proud of that. And it got some great sponsors sponsoring said coaches shows as well. Folks like Champion Chevrolet and Chick-fil-A, and of course, good folks at Blue Lizard, Australian Sunscreen, great folks, and we appreciate them very, very much. So those are there. These shows are there, and also our broadcast of Scienceville Sports are there as well. So it's a one-stop shop, TomTaylorSports.com. Check it out, all lowercase, and we would thank you ahead of time for that. We are looking at a Wednesday afternoon at this point. We're winding this thing down a little bit, and let's see. What else do we want to talk about? Anything? Oh, here's a good one. Yes, good stuff right here. So here we go. Here's a good story. Remember about a month ago I told you about James Harden. James, the NBA player that wanted to have that shoe contract. Remember, he plays for the Rockets. The guy's got the full beard, good-looking beard. And so James, Houston guard James Harden recently signed a $200 million contract with Adidas. You think he would have immediately taken all of his Air Jordans out of his rotation. Well, it wasn't the case. Apparently the guy just wears different type shoes every day. So given the huge deal he signed with Adidas, again, they told him to stop wearing Air Jordans in California over the weekend. Adidas did. The deal officially starts October the 1st. Now, I'm going to ask you a really stupid question. If you say, Tom, we're going to pay you $200 million to wear this hat, and take your Raiders hat off and don't wear it anymore, wear this one. It doesn't really start to October the 1st, but we want you to not wear that Raiders hat anymore, wear this Bracken Paving hat. Okay. And we're going to pay you $200 million to do it starting over 13 years, starting October the 1st, which on my calendar is 2 or 3 weeks away? Now, why, unless you're a complete moron, I guess, I don't know why I would, why would you not wear the shoe, in this case, Adidas, just signed him for a $200 million contract? Why would you still be out wearing Air Jordans? His explanation, see if he has one. See if he's got one. This is good stuff. Technically didn't do anything wrong. You're right. The Adidas contract hasn't kicked in yet, but, how about a little respect for what you're doing? And plus, they've signed you for a $200 million contract. $200 million to wear your shoe. So why, out of courtesy and respect and loyalty, apparently, would you say, these Air Jordans, I like them, but they're gone. I'm wearing Adidas or flip-flops or something. I'm not going to wear the competition shoe because now you've paid me $200 to wear $200 million to wear your shoe. So anyway, that's James Harden. That's what's going on there. And so one time came out on purpose and wore the two different shoes for the game, and he complained about his feet hurting. He said, this shoe's doesn't fit right. Well, he purposely wore two different types of the same shoe just to make a fashion statement, I guess, to be different, and it hurt his feet. So it's like, okay, why don't you wear the shoes you're supposed to wear that match instead of having a blue one and a red one or whatever? So it's like, that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a quick break. We'll check in with our buddy Champion Chevrolet. We'll come back and carry on here again on this Wednesday. Again, we had some folks lined up for phone calls. I had a little phone glitch this morning or this afternoon, so we'll have that fixed and ready to go for tomorrow.
Trucks, and more trucks. At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, we have Silverado trucks everywhere with discounts up to $11,000 off MSRP on select Silverado All-Star Crew Cabs. 15 Spark, $10,995. 15 Sonic, $12,995. 15 Track, $17,995. 15 Equinox, $20,995. Shop us online 24/7 and don't forget our Saturday service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where they leave you asking, how do they do that?
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on this Wednesday. It is Hump Day, over the hump and through the woods. And again, big week. And big week of college football, big week of pro football, big week of high school football. It's here. We've been waiting on this all summer. The baseball playoffs are right around the corner. Again, new leader in the American League West, as we told you earlier in the show. Houston has been derailed temporarily by the Texas Rangers. Will play again tonight and continue that series. In fact, let's run down baseball schedule for you. We told you earlier, Daniel Norris pitching tonight, young man from Johnson City, back off the DL with that strained right oblique muscle. And so he's on the hill tonight for the Detroit Tigers. And let's run down the Major League Baseball schedule for you. Good luck to Daniel Norris. Hope he has a heck of an outing. Great young man and represents us well, of course. And so let's take a look at it. Detroit plays in Minnesota. Again, Daniel Norris 2-2 on the hill. 8-10 first pitch. Again from Minnesota. Boston and Baltimore, Kansas City, Cleveland, the Yankees and Tampa Bay. Toronto and Atlanta against Shelby Miller and the Bravos. Miller 5-14. Boy, it's a bad franchise there. They're as bad as the Reds. Houston and Texas will hook back up again tonight. Game 2 of that series. And again, it is a half-game lead now by Texas. They've taken over the lead in the American League West. First time since April of 2014. They've been in first place in the American League West. So did I get them all? Let's see. American League, Oakland and Chicago, and the Angels at Seattle. In the National League, again, pennant races. Cardinals now with a 3-game lead over Pittsburgh and a 7-game lead over the Cubbies. Cubs and Pittsburgh play tonight. Washington and Philadelphia. Miami against the Mets. Cardinals, again, second game in Milwaukee. They've been officially eliminated, by the way, from postseason play, which has been determined a long time ago, they and the Reds. The Reds are 60-83. Somebody asked me last week, you still want to keep doing the Reds report with your buddy Greg? No. When you're 60-83, what would you want to talk about except fire the manager? And that's not the only problem with the Reds. I mean, but to me, that's a biggie. Anyway, they're 29.5 games out. Man, what a bunch of underperformers. Good grief. Elsewhere tonight, again, the Redlegs will be in San Francisco to battle Jake Peavy and the Giants. Colorado will be at Dodger Stadium to battle L.A. and San Diego at Arizona in the National League as far as action in Big League Baseball. And again, the pennant races, as we told you, Mets 8.5 better than Washington in the East. Cardinals 3 games better than Pittsburgh and 7 better than the Cubbies in the Central. And again, the Western Division has pretty well been nailed down, I would think, unless a massive meltdown by the Los Angeles Dodgers. And, of course, they're only 7.5 out. Things can get, particularly if they play each other head-to-head, and I'm sure they will before it's all said and done. So it'll be the Dodgers and who's in second place, I would assume, and it is, San Francisco. So I'm sure they'll play each other head-to-head, so I don't guess you can totally count San Francisco out. In the wild card race, they're very much in the hunt. You've got Pittsburgh, you've got the Cubbies, you've got San Francisco in the National League. In the American League, again, Toronto by 3 in the East over the Yankees in the pennant races. Then the wild card races, you got the Yankees, Houston, Minnesota, the Angels, Cleveland, and Baltimore are the teams that are going to be, I would think, in the hunt for that wild card spot coming down the stretch. So let me pause for the calls here just a second. Let me get me a nice, listen to that. That sounds good. That would be a Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, not like a little Diet Dew. It'll tickle your innards. Remember that bottle back as a kid? You used to pick up pop bottles, the glass bottles, nickel a bottle. The old green one that had the hillbilly on the side of the Mountain Dew bottles, it'll tickle your innards. And right there, it'll tickle your innards. That's some good stuff right there. College football breaking story, Nevada. Nevada's coach, Brian Polian. Unsportsmanlike penalties cost his Wolfpack 15 yards apiece in a 44-20 loss to Arizona. Also cost him $10,000 in fines from the university. University of Nevada said, no, we're not going to do this. Polian received unsportsmanlike penalties in the third and fourth quarters each for arguing calls with officials. Here's his quote. I don't apologize for my passion. I don't apologize for my energy. I do have to do a better job of focusing it. And apparently the Nevada administration felt a lighter wallet may put Polian on the fast track to better sideline manners. I believe Coach Polian is moving the football program in the right direction, says Nevada Athletic Director Doug Knuth, K-N-U-T-H. Unfortunately, his sideline behavior and interaction with officials, regardless of being right or wrong about officiating decisions, is not in line with values of the University of Nevada. So, Polian said today, quote, I will do better. So, anyway, he kind of lost it, I guess, on the sideline. I haven't seen it, but he got 2 15-yard penalties. Didn't help him. They got beat 44-20. I'm not sure it's going to make the difference in the game, but he got himself a little fine from the university, not the NCAA, but university got him for a $10,000 fine. So there you go. What else happening? Let's see. Moving down through here, who did not have a good week last week? It was Adrian Peterson says, quote, "I'm embarrassed by my football team." So now you won't get me on my soapbox here about Adrian Peterson. Here's a guy that set out, didn't play much at all in preseason, had that big rhubarb with him, wanted to be traded this summer, and they finally said, "You're coming to camp or else we're not going to trade you. You're going to come play football for the Vikings." Didn't play any in preseason or very little. And so the other night he's embarrassed by his football team. Well, he had 10 rushes for 31 yards. For the kind of money they're paying him, he should be embarrassed of his own. Daddy used to say, "Boy, remember when you point your finger at somebody else, you got 4 coming back at you." So in this case, Peterson, saying our team, football team, and he's not singling anybody out. He said we were an embarrassment and we got embarrassed. Well, when you're knocking down the jack you're making, you had 10 carries for 31 yards. That ain't exactly wowing them, Cowboys. So Adrian Peterson has to do better this week, and he'll get a chance at home against the Detroit Lions, used to say back home. Granted, I used to say, "Going to Detroit." I said, "Granted, it's Detroit." He said, "No, it's Detroit." Okay, you're bigger than me, and I'll go with it. So anyway, does he still have the talent, Adrian Peterson? Yes. Is it time for him to step up and show it? Yes. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. And again, Polian getting nailed, $10,000 fine by his own university administration. Not pleased with his behavior on the sideline. Again, costing them, 2 unsportsmanlike penalties in their 44-20 loss to Arizona. Again, if you missed it yesterday, this happened after we got off the air. The Raiders give up Bryce Butler. Cowboys to replace the injured Dez Bryant out 4 to 6 weeks with a broken foot. They go get Bryce Butler to help fill in for the injured Dez Bryant. Again, Butler 6'3", about 215, graduated from San Diego State. He's originally from Georgia, and a heck of an athlete, a lot of talent. The Raiders were not using him. That's what I like. Hadn't really had much chance at all to catch any balls in the preseason. The Raiders weren't using him virtually at all, so he's like, okay, I'm out, I'm gone. And so he did. He moved on. So the Cowboys have got him to shore up their offense and help out till Dez Bryant comes back off of that foot injury for the Dallas Cowboys. What else going on in sports? Anything else? Again, we are working our way through this Wednesday afternoon. We told you earlier in the show, Justin Hunter. We'll go back through this one again. I don't get this. I mean, I do get it. I think Gators pretty much told me. He sent a little text a while ago about if you got enough money, let me get a little drink here. Wet the old whistle. Thank you. Tennessee Titan wide receiver Justin Hunter found not guilty of committing assault and battery in a crowded bar in a brawl over the weekend, July 4th weekend in Virginia Beach. Was it pushing and shoving and slapping? No, this guy got his jaw broke, as a matter of fact. Fight led to a man's jaw being broken, although the victim said at the trial it was not Hunter who landed the most serious blow against him on a sidewalk. Once the bar had been cleared out, got outside and they got him down on the sidewalk and pounded him, looks like, from what this is saying. The entire fight, inside the bar lasted only about 60 seconds and quickly involved numerous people, according to the surveillance video. One patron in the bar during the fight throwing a bar stool. Great place to be on that night, huh? Yeah, holy smokes. Anyway, defense attorney Toby Vick said the only reason Hunter was singled out for the charge is because he's an NFL player with deep pockets. The victim in the case doesn't have health insurance and has expensive medical bills to pay as a result of the fight, and he has hired a personal injury attorney with the intent of suing Hunter. His attorney says all I'm trying to do is get money out of my client. Now, the victim is Anthony Blythe. Let me go into this, what happened to this young man at this fight. You tell me how this guy got off, but he did. Prosecutors said during the trial that the brawl began after Hunter and a group of men exchanged words in a crowded bar. Blythe said the ordeal began after Hunter stepped on his toes, literally. One of Blythe's friends says tempers flared after Hunter stepped between Blythe and a woman. There we go. There's a Fraulein involved. That'll get you every time. So apparently these two guys were talking to the same lady, it would appear. One of Blythe's friends said tempers flared after Hunter stepped between Blythe and a woman at the bar. Hunter testified that Blythe pushed him from behind to get his attention. and that Blythe was soon joined by his friends who escalated the situation. One of Blythe's friends approached Hunter with clenched fist while talking junk, indicating he might fight. His attorney says Hunter felt threatened. That's why he started throwing punches. Makes sense to me. You come up to me and I think I'm going to start throwing punches. Really? Yeah. Prosecutor Wendy Alexander said Hunter started the entire brawl by throwing a right-handed jab at one of Blythe's friends, who later was arrested for public intoxication. Now it comes out he started the whole thing. After Hunter was pushed away, he came back with a large roundhouse left-handed punch, a hay baler, aimed at Blythe. Hunter said he was aiming at Blythe's friend and not Blythe, who was the stated victim in the case. All right, so who broke his jaw? The guy says Hunter didn't do it. Well, who broke it? He's laying over there bleeding. Somebody busted his jaw. Who did it? Hunter says he threw a roundhouse left-handed hay baler. As the brawl ensued, Hunter put Blythe's friend in a chokehold. Now, he didn't do anything. He got off free, but he put his buddy in a chokehold, one of these, before Blythe began punching Hunter to get him off of him. As the brawl ensued, Hunter put Blythe's friend in a chokehold from behind. Before Blythe, the guy got his jaw broke, began punching Hunter to get him off of him. Huh. Good grief. Too many red flags here for me. I don't know about you. Hunter's trial lasted about 4 hours. How about this? This is the best part of the whole thing. General District Judge Gene Woolard found Hunter not guilty, but did not explain his reasoning for doing so. How many times you been in a court of law or watched it on TV or whatever, where the judge makes the decision, hits that gavel, and says, "Court adjourned. I find the defendant not guilty." And nobody asks why. Why didn't you find him guilty? Reasons I don't have to explain. He's not guilty. And I'm thinking, really? And this is what happened up here in Virginia Beach. So this guy's off the hook, and so is what it is. So unbelievable. That's all I can tell you. So anyway, that's happening, and Justin Hunter, innocent until proven guilty, of course, in the court of law in this land. But again, everything shows that he was in the middle of it. It still doesn't say, nor does the victim say, who broke his jaw. Somebody broke his jaw. Hunter was there. He threw a left-handed hay baler, took his buddy and put him in a chokehold, but he didn't do anything, and he gets to walk away scot-free. It all started because apparently there was a lady involved. They were talking a little smack at the woman in the bar, and I guess things got out of hand, apparently what this article says. So anyway, and old boy used to say and laugh in, "Vettinteresting" would be the way I would say it. It is the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, check us out at TomTaylorSports.com. And again, we are there, and we're there 24/7. We've got all the coaches' shows there. We've got the ball games there. We've got the Tom Taylor Sports Show there. All that right there. And we'll take a break, come right back, and visit with our buddy as we go to the break. From Bays Mountain Park, our buddy Rob Cole joins us right here from Bays Mountain Park on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
American Import and Auto Repair takes a lot of pride in their work and customer service. Owner Kim Smith tells us why someone should consider American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City.
Well, of course, the first thing is you want to make sure that people are getting value for their dollar. Our emphasis is on quality, not quantity. We want to make sure that not only is the job being done, but it's done right with quality parts, with highly trained technicians. All of our technicians are ASE certified. We have several master techs, which is the highest you can get in the ASE. And ASE is a program that certifies people to the top level of their industry in car repair. We want people to feel comfortable. We never twist people's arms. Like I said, it's about quality. We want people to be happy. We want them to come back. We want a good name. You know, we're customers of other businesses. We want to be treated right, so we'd like to treat our customers right.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City. Call today at 913-3111. Kingsport Cabinetry installs cabinets and countertops all over the three-state region. Owner Richard Isaac says there is no charge for his quotes.
All of our quotes and drawings are free. I know a lot of the national chains, big box stores and stuff, and I understand they have to charge a price to come out and measure and do a quote, but here at Kingsport Cabinetry, we do all that for free in hopes that our service is good enough. I always tell people this, Tom. I say, you can go anywhere in this town and get a product like I have, but find somebody you're comfortable working with. If you're not comfortable working with me, find somebody you are comfortable working with. But I can guarantee you we'll give you the service. We have a full shop back here that we do custom work, and I'll just move on a little bit. We get into commercial work. We do a lot of commercial work, a lot of healthcare, a lot of restaurants, banks, schools, things like that too.
Kingsport Cabinetry. Call Richard Isaacs today at 247-6134.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered. And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show here for a couple of more minutes again on this Wednesday. Again, we apologize for the phone. We had folks lined up, and they're all gracious enough to say come back tomorrow and things are happening. So we'll be back with us tomorrow, and things do happen. And it's out of our control, obviously. But we'll figure out what's wrong and see if it's still there. Is it still there? It's amazing. Dial tone, call out, and can't get anything. Call in, can't get anything. But we got a dial tone. I don't know. Don't know, but we'll get her fixed. That'll be our goal for this afternoon. We've been talking about Tennessee. Let's squeeze in also Frank Beamer and the Hokies. You know, they're heading off to Purdue on Saturday. They're 1-1. That loss coming to the Marshall Thundering Herd. We are Marshall right there. Yeah, love me some Thundering Herd. And so as a result of that, they're 1-1. Hokies have relied heavily on starters Isaiah Ford and Cam Phillips. They're wideouts. Got a new quarterback, Brendan Motley. Of course, Brewer got hurt against Ohio State. And so Beamer also likes his trio of tight ends. The Hokies have split most the athletic of the three. Bucky Hodges out as a wide receiver, and so they're using a two tight end set sometimes, and two tight end set using three different tight ends, and also some wide receivers. And so, again, getting more and more chances to get those ball out to his wide receivers. Brendan Motley is the inexperienced. Brendan Motley is his starter. This guy gets hurt. Brewer goes down. He virtually gets handed the ball and says, "Hey, big guy, it's yours." This is why, I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second before we get out of here. This is why I don't understand why people start and don't finish games or finish as a player. All you have to do to find out the kind of story would be go back last year to Ohio State. Fourth quarterback on the team takes them to the national championship as a process or through a process of elimination. At Tennessee, T. Martin was there because of what? Because somebody ahead of him got hurt. And so he got pressed into duty, and the rest is history. So here's Brendan Motley, and so had he quit and said, well, I'm going to get him playing time, I'm behind Brewer, Michael Brewer as the starting quarterback, you know, he would not have this opportunity. As it is, he is now the starting quarterback for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Win, lose, or draw, it's his team. So Frank Beamer says, you're my man, and that's why I've never understood you don't know what's around the next corner in life and certainly in sports. So why would you just up and quit? Well, I'm not getting to play. Okay, but you don't know what's around the, as I said, what's around the bend. So anyway, Brewer's gone. Brendan Motley's the new guy, and they're going to get a lot of receivers up there in Blacksburg to get him acclimated to the different receivers and throw out as many footballs as possible to the different receivers and get a bunch of guys into the mix. before they start their ACC game and ACC schedule, but they do play. The Hokies play on Saturday at 3:30 at Purdue against the Boilermakers. Tom Taylor Sports Show, again, thanks for being with us here again on this Wednesday afternoon. We've enjoyed, as always, being here with you. Again, we work our way to the top of the hour, then we'll kind of step aside and get ready to go for tomorrow's show. Do want to remind you that this show, again, is up on podcast, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher phone app, and also YouTube, both video and audio on demand. A lot of folks go back in the evening and watch it and listen to it, and we certainly appreciate that. And so a very, very nice gesture for you to take your time to do that, and it does not go unnoticed. We thank you when I see the clicks and the hits and the views. We appreciate that so very, very much. Again, we were telling you we got about 5 or 6 games. We threw one more into the fray for college football on Saturday. I would think the biggest game to watch, there's no question, SEC West, Alabama, the Crimson Tide and Ole Miss hooking up, number 2 versus number 15 on Saturday evening, 9:15 start time. Now, why you wait that late to play the football game, but the kickoff is not the 9:15. You're talking 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning for this thing's over with. Number 7, Georgia against South Carolina. Not ranked are the Gamecocks, but a backyard battle nonetheless between Georgia and Carolina. That'll be at 6 o'clock in Athens. Also another good one, number 8, Notre Dame takes on number 14, Georgia Tech. Earlier in the show, we told you that Jim Harbaugh not opposed to renewing the rivalry with Notre Dame. Notre Dame takes on Georgia Tech, 8th-ranked Irish, and 14th-ranked Georgia Tech in Atlanta at 3:30 on Saturday. Another good ball game, number 10, UCLA takes on number 19, BYU. That'll be coming up at 10:30 on Saturday night. I understand that one's out on the left coast, but I don't understand the 9:15 Ole Miss start. That's late for an East Coast team. Other thing, too, from a media standpoint, I mean, you missed 11 o'clock news and folks, wanting to watch it and getting the highlights, so that game won't even get over till 9:15 kickoff. You're probably talking, 11:30, 12 o'clock before it's over with at the earliest. Anyway, that's that. I can't do anything about it. 13th ranked LSU, number 18 Auburn. What a good one that's going to be. That'll be at Auburn. It'll be a 3:30 kickoff on Saturday. And let's see. Let me double check. I think is that the home game? Where's my football? Here it is right here. Let me double check here. I'm going to see. Is Auburn at home or is it LSU? Let me check here. My old reference book. Auburn will be, that's not who I want. I want to go over this one. Auburn will be where? Auburn will be at LSU. It's not what it says. So LSU will be hosting Auburn. It'll be making it even tougher. And that'll be, that's not right. It says September the 9th. It's not September the 9th. Let's see. See what it says under LSU. LSU says at Mississippi State. This has got September. Oh, here it is. Okay. Hello. It's been a day. Tom, what will Saturday be? It'll be the 19th. Thank you. Not the 12th, the 19th. They are hosting Auburn, so LSU's going to be at home on Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a great game regardless where it's at. And then number 23, Northwestern at Duke. Northwestern ranked this week, both 2-0. Coach Cutcliffe's team over there at Duke having a pretty good run. They're already 2-0 out of the gate, hosting Northwestern, and a 12:30 kickoff in Durham on Saturday. So Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia, South Carolina, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, UCLA, BYU, LSU, Auburn, and Northwestern at Duke. Those are some pretty good ball games lined up for Saturday. And for my money, gosh, I don't know. I would think, being a Dogs fan, I like Georgia, South Carolina. I think it's going to be a good ball game, and I think it's a gut check time for South Carolina, losing their starting quarterback. He got out of the hospital with that hip infection. That was more of a concern to the doctors than the shoulder. He had a kind of a mysterious hip infection, so he is out, but he's gone for a while. Orth is the new quarterback at South Carolina for Steve Spurrier, so should be interesting to see how they react going in between the hedges to play the Georgia Bulldogs and Mark Richt. And so that'll be one at 6 o'clock on Saturday. I think it's going to be a pretty good ball game. Be fun to watch. Alabama and Ole Miss will be a great one to watch, number 2 versus number 15. And I'm not too sure LSU Auburn may be the best one on the card this weekend. That's going to be a good football game at LSU, and they play that one at 3:30. So that's always a tough place to play. Go in and play at Baton Rouge. Louisiana. So, anyway, college football. My game, of course, the Thundering Herd, Marshall. We are Marshall. Who do they play? Here I am, the big alum, the big cheerleader. I don't know who they play. I know they got beat by Ohio University last week. Let's see who the Thundering Herd plays. I know you don't care, but they play Norfolk State. Cream Puff, so that's a checkbook game for Norfolk State as the Thundering Herd 1-1 under Doc Holliday. They were 13-1 a year ago. So, anyway, they'll play Norfolk State, and that will be a W for the Thundering Herd of Marshall University. Again, the Southeastern Conference, run them down for you. Who's playing where? And the SEC, Nevada, Texas A&M, Missouri hosting UConn, Auburn and LSU, Vanderbilt hosting Austin Peay, Mississippi State hosting Northwestern State, South Carolina, Georgia, as we told you, Tennessee hosting Western Carolina, 7 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, Texas Tech, the Red Raiders will be at Arkansas. That'll be a good ball game there. Arkansas have their hands full coming off the loss to Toledo. And, wow, Florida, Kentucky. That's a trap game right there. Who did I tell yesterday that Kentucky's better, and they about laughed me off the parking lot? Who was it I was talking to? He said, you got to be kidding me. I said, I'm telling you right now, Stoops has got that team. They're 2-0. They've outscored their opponents 66-55, Kentucky. Tom, who they played? They're 2-0. They're Kentucky football. They're 2-0. It doesn't matter. They're 2-0, and they're off to a good start. Better than normal in Lexington for their football team. Florida has outscored their opponents, which have not been much competition, and they'll tell you that. East Carolina, not too bad, but New Mexico State the week before was a cream puff. They've outscored their opponents 92-37. So they'll hook up and clash at 7:30 on Saturday in Lexington. And as we told you, Ole Miss at Alabama. So let's see who Kentucky, what they've done so far. They're 2-0. Who do they beat? Anybody? Quality opponents or cream puffs? Let's see. Kentucky has beaten Louisiana Lafayette. Well, what am I thinking? They won down in South Carolina. That's a big win. So they are 2-0, Louisiana Lafayette, and South Carolina, the Kentucky win. So that's not bad. So anyway, that's what's coming up again on Saturday, college football. Tennessee's got to get the ship righted. They will do that at the expense of the Western Carolina Catamounts. They're going to have a big game, a big day. Dobbs going to go nuts and have a big throwing game, and they're going to. And this is no knock at all against Western Carolina, but again, it's the little guy against the big guy. It's expected to be lopsided. They understand that going in. Yes, they want to win the football game, but they understand that the odds are very, very high that they won't. And so they will compete and give them 120%, do the best they can, and head back to Callaway. Tennessee will use that as a get-well game and then get ready for, of course, the trip to the Swamp next Saturday to battle the Gators in Florida. And that'll be a darn good football game. And let's see, I want to see what's next for Tennessee on the schedule. After Florida, they come back home for Arkansas and Georgia. A week off, then they go to Alabama, then they go to Kentucky. I'm telling you, Kentucky's going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Let me see who the Wildcats play here in the next couple of games. They've got Florida on Saturday, Missouri coming in there next week in the conference game. Then they have Eastern Kentucky. Then they have Auburn. Then they go to Mississippi State before Tennessee comes to town on Halloween. So Kentucky at 2-0 right now. Again, Tennessee will have, as we said, after this one they'll have Florida. And then the Big Orange will have Arkansas and Georgia back-to-back on the 3rd and the 10th before a week off and traveling to Alabama. So got their hands full, and they're working out for them. Virginia Tech, after this week, by the way, will go to East Carolina in their conference opener. So nationally televised games this week. Let's see what's going to be on if you can watch on the tube. Let's see. National televised Auburn and LSU on Saturday afternoon, national television. Georgia Tech at Notre Dame on national television. Nebraska, Miami, Florida on national television on Saturday. That's during the day. Evening game, South Carolina, Georgia on ESPN. The Western Carolina, Tennessee game on ESPNU. Florida, Kentucky is the SEC game at 7:30 on Saturday. And also you have the obvious Ole Miss and Alabama on ESPN on 9:15. That's probably why they're playing. It's dictated by television. So some good ball games that you'll be able to watch. I'll tell you something else pretty cool, too. This is for me, the old radio guy. I enjoy doing this when I have the time, which I normally don't very often, but to come in here and sit down and get in front of the computer and type in some of these different college football teams and listen to their broadcast over the internet. Pretty cool stuff. And so not everybody's like, really? That's like listening to paint dry or watching paint dry. Yeah, just kind of cool to listen to different announcers. And somebody asked me one time, who are some of my favorite announcers? There's a guy at Florida State. I'm not sure he's even still there. Love to hear that guy call a game back in the day. His name was Gene Deckerhoff, the voice of the Seminoles. Love to hear him call a football game. I thought he was spot on. And, of course, my all-time favorite is Marty Brenneman, who is the Reds announcer but also does work for the Jefferson Pilot crew in the offseason, does some basketball, but I think he's top shelf. But probably football, the guy down at Florida State. He was good. I don't know if he's still there or not. Gene Deckerhoff, if he is, he's up there as far as age. And, of course, the man in Knoxville was he's hard to top John Ward back in the day, I can tell you that. So, and it neat, too, that Ward, I mean, he just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. I mean, he's around. He's still alive, but you don't hear much about him. He kind of did his thing, and now John Ward, his big passion back in the day, he has loved growing roses. He is a big, or was, I don't know if he still does, but back in the day, in his younger years, when I had a chance to go down and hang out with him for a couple of games and kind of watch how the master did mastered his craft, and he would tell me his big passion away from football was roses. So he grew roses, and so it's funny when you get behind, what makes people get behind not the facade, but who they are and find out what makes them tick. It's pretty interesting. I would have never guessed John Ward was all about roses, but he was. Maybe he still is, I'm not sure. But, again, back in the day when I talked to him, that was back when Tony Robinson was there. That was a long time ago. His big passion was roses, so one never knows. Anyway, that's you have a chance to watch some good ball games and hear some good ball games and see some good ball games coming up on Saturday in college football. We'll take our final break, come right back, get ready to wrap this thing up. Again, we've appreciated you being with us here today, and we're with you. Not gone yet. We've got a couple more little tidbits to take care of in the sporting world, and we'll come back. And matter of fact, let's do them right. No, we'll take a break. We'll come right back. When we do, we'll talk about the ACC, who's playing where there on Saturday, also the Big Ten Conference, and also the Southern Conference. We're going to set those three conference games as far as schedules for you coming up. We'll do that, and then we'll get ready to kind of step aside and move on, get ready for tomorrow's show. Again, Science Hill football Friday night. Hope you'll be with us. We've got Don Shepard, Dynamite, Color Man. Man, the Lord laid one in my lap on that guy. He is awesome. Don Shepard, also Kevin Harmon, the best stat guy anywhere. I'll put him up on any level, anybody. This guy is into it. He is right here. I got to start studying it tonight. Get my notes ready to go. Look at this right here. This is a high school ball game. You may say it's over the top, but here is everything you'd want to know about Science Hill football right here. Bryson Tolley, two sacks for 19 yards. Tackle for loss, he has 7. Adam Morlegan, he has 1 tackle as a kickoff man on the defensive side of things. Justin Bedard passing the football, 29 out of 57, 449, 3 touchdowns, 3 INTs. I mean, the guy's the best right here, and he brings that to the table on Friday night, and he is awesome. Kevin Harmon, the stat man. Also, you've got Cody Helton, our producer, and also our sideline reporter. Again, Robert can't be with us Friday night, so we're lining us up another sideline reporter, which is not an easy job to do. Folks say, what's the toughest job to do? I said, well, you said play-by-play is hard. I said, it is what it is. But I said, for me, the toughest guy on that field and the one I have the most respect for is the sideline reporter. You're standing down there, and all of a sudden I'll say, hey, coming up next, we'll come down to XYZ person, old Jim Bob, or in this case Robert. And Robert's, and I ask him a question. He's got about 10 or 15 seconds, and he's been standing down there just waiting his time. All of a sudden, boom, he's on. He's got to give you a 10 or 15-second concise answer. Tell you what you want to hear, make it interesting, make it whatever, funny, colorful, whatever the case may be, and throw it back to you for the next play. Because football, methodical, run the play, back to the huddle, run the play, back to the huddle. So I always have the utmost respect of the sideline reporter. Also the stat guy. I mean, Kevin's over there. He's got, 12, 15 seconds between plays to get, okay, Tom Taylor threw the ball to Gator, who caught the ball and advanced it 14 yards. He was tackled by Jim Klein. I mean, that's how it works. And he's putting that in and ready to go for the next play. So these guys are good is my whole point. And I would appreciate very much you giving us a listen. Not for me, but for the guys that we've put together, the team we've assembled. They're awesome. Awesome. That would be trying to say awesome and excellent together. They're awesome. And I would ask you to please consider doing that. Simply go to TomTaylorSports.com. We'll be there. Livestream.com, Tom Taylor Sports. And we'll be there Friday night, TomTaylorSports.com with the broadcast, and we would thank you ahead of time for that. And also Livestream.com, which is where it'll be audio only. But, again, we'll paint the picture for you beginning at 7 o'clock on Friday night. And those guys deserve to and the numbers are growing each week, and we thank you for that. Word's getting out about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And, again, I'll put these guys I put together up against anybody on any level. I would challenge you to find a college broadcast that gives you what these guys give you when we get together and bring in Science Hill football every Friday night. Quick break. We'll be right back. We as in the waning moments. How about that? Is that impressive? Waning moments of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Just got a text, want to know what the weather's going to be like Friday night for high school football. It's going to be par excellente. Is that French? I think it's French. It's going to be good. Oh, I just embarrassed myself. I think that's French. Par excellente. It's going to be good weather for Friday night. Again, let's run down those games for you before we get out of here. Oh, no, I promised I was going to the ACC, and we'll do that too. Let's do ACC and the Southeast, or not the Southeast, but the Southern Conference of the Big Ten. We'll start with the ACC on Saturday. Wake Forest will be at Army. North Carolina hosting Illinois. Syracuse home to Central Michigan. We told you Nebraska at Miami and Northwestern at Duke. Virginia Tech at Purdue. We told you about that one. Georgia Tech at Notre Dame. Big ball game there. William & Mary will be at Virginia to battle the Cavaliers in Charlottesville. North Carolina State at Old Dominion. And Pittsburgh will be at Iowa on games on Saturday involving the ACC. In the Big Ten on Saturday, who plays well, who plays where, I should say. Michigan hosting UNLV. Michigan State hosting Air Force. Minnesota home to Kent State. Maryland hosting South Florida. Illinois again on the road at North Carolina. Troy will be at Wisconsin. The Badgers have an easy time there, I would think. And Ohio State takes on Northern Illinois in that one. And that'll be again for the Big Ten Conference. Let's see, Nebraska at Miami. Purdue hosting Virginia Tech. We told you about that. Indiana home to Western Kentucky. Penn State, the Nittany Lions trying to bounce back. They got Rutgers and Pittsburgh. The Pitt Panthers will be in Iowa to battle the Hawkeyes. An 8 o'clock kick there. Also in the Southern Conference, you have on Saturday the future home of the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State. Chattanooga at Samford. How about this? The number one team in the conference right now, the Citadel, is number one. Right in behind them would be Mercer and Samford. Chattanooga at Samford, Wofford at Idaho, VMI at Richmond on Saturday. Furman plays at Central Florida. The Citadel will be at Georgia Southern. Man, what a trip they used to be. Holy smokes, get on a bus and go from here. And I did the Bucks on the radio. you think, God, are we ever going to get to Statesboro? I mean, it is way down there in the middle of nowhere. It's a great place once you get there. Very pretty campus, but, man, it is a long grind from Johnson City to Statesboro back in the day when I was doing the Bucks. Citadel at Georgia Southern. Mercer at Tennessee Tech. And, of course, Western Carolina out of the Southern Conference will be, again, playing at Tennessee at Neyland Stadium on Saturday night in a 7 o'clock kickoff. High school football, before we get out of here, we're going to wrap this thing up. High school football, Bradley Central at Jefferson County Friday night. Alphabetically we go. Chucky Doak, the Black Knights, will be at Johnson County up on the mountain in Mountain City. Concord Christian at Cloudland. Daniel Boone plays at Tennessee High. Trailblazers, probably the best 0-3 team in the state. That's not a moral victory for Jeremy Jenkins. He don't want that. He wants W's. But, again, they're a very good football team to be 0-3. Have had some tough luck. Tennessee High will host them with Sir Schuff, their outstanding running back, and their football team at the Stone Castle. Elizabethton goes to Unicoi County. Hunter Tyree, again, you'll see it on the Sean Whitten Coaches Show. 12 out of 13 for 188 yards and, 3 touchdown passes? 12 out of 13. That's Sunday afternoon numbers, folks. In fact, there's some quarterbacks that did not have those kind of numbers Sunday afternoon in the National Football League. Hunter Tyree had a heck of a ball game for Elizabethton, and he'll take that show on the road to Unicoi County on Friday night. Unicoi County trying to play the upset, of course. And so Elizabethton at Unicoi County. Greenville at Sullivan East. Great matchup there. Greenville number 2 in the state. Sullivan East, honorable mention. And 4A football, they'll square off at the Patriot Pasture at Sullivan East on Friday night. Hampton at Gatlinburg-Pittman. That'll be a good one. Happy Valley at Cosby. I believe Hampton is ranked. And I'll say that earlier. They're number 6 in the state. Sullivan North number 7 in 2A. So Hampton goes to Gatlinburg-Pittman. That'll be a conference matchup, of course. And that'll be happening again on Friday night. Happy Valley at Cosby. Hardin Valley, the Hawks will swoop into J. Fred Johnson Stadium for homecoming for Dobbins Minute on Friday night. Maryville at Science Hill. Do it again, Tom. We'll drive it home. 7 o'clock airtime right here on Friday night. Number 1 in the state, Maryville, and number 4 in the state, Science Hill. Square off at Kermit Tipton Stadium. Steve Spurrier Field. We'll have that for you again beginning at 7 o'clock Friday night with the Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. West Virginia Hick trying to talk with an English accent. Nah, it didn't work. But anyway. Oh, let's see. Morristown West at Cock County. North Green plays at Cumberland Gap. Sevier County, the Smoky Bears at Morristown East. 600 yards of offense and lost the game to Dobbins Minute. I mean, that's got to be heartbreaking, but they did it. 49-41 last week to DB. Deuce Wallace, the deal. Again, 600 yards. He threw. That's 600 total yards of offense. Deuce Wallace, the quarterback for Sevier County, threw for over 500 yards of passing. Now, if you have 600 yards of offense and 500 yards of passing and you lose the football game, man, that's got to break your back. It's got to hurt. Sevier County will try and bounce back at Morristown East. Seymour at Sullivan Central. South Green at Sullivan North. North ranked this week in 3A football, 2A football. 2A football, number 7 in the state, are the Golden Raiders from Bloomingdale. Also, Sullivan South at Cherokee. Good matchup there between the Rebels and the Chiefs. Volunteer at Granger and William Blunt. The Governors go to Bearden in the Big East Conference. In Southwest Virginia, Eastside will be at Lee. Gate City, the Blue Devils looking for a win. They're going to Bluefield to battle the Bluefield Beavers. Hurley at Castlewood. John Battle hosting Lebanon. Patrick Henry at Twin Springs. Richlands at Central Wise. Ridgeview at Union. Rye Cove, the War Eagles play on Friday night at Thomas Walker and Unaka at J.I. Burton. I think I've told you the story. I lived up in Bluefield for a while and did the Beavers and Concord College on the radio, on the live broadcast, on the play-by-play. We were up there one year. There was the Bluefield Orioles then. It's they got a different franchise now in the Appalachian League, but they were at one point called the Baby Birds. Anyway, it'll get cold up there before it'll get cold anywhere else. It's just a cool area, literally. And so we're up there one night calling the ball game. It's July 4th weekend. Never forget this. Well, I had a cold snap come through in Bluefield, and it got so cold. I mean, it got down, and we're talking game time temperature in the upper 50s on July 4th weekend. I'll never forget this as long as I live. I'm out there in shorts and a little skimpy T-shirt, about paper thin, trying to stay warm, but trying to call a ball game. And I was 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm shivering. So anyway, it got so cold. They canceled the 4th of July fireworks that night, and they actually started selling hot chocolate in Bluefield, West Virginia. So it's a cold place. And so my point to all this is Friday night when Gate City goes there, it'll be cold up there. For whatever reason, it gets cold there, and in Beckley, West Virginia, quicker than anywhere else. So Gate City trying to get a W under the belt, and they will go to Bluefield to try and make that happen on Friday night. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. We did it without virtue of the phones today. For whatever reason, it didn't work. And let's try one more time. I don't know. It's an amazing phenomenon. You got a dial tone, you call out, and people call in, and they can't hear each other. But you got a dial tone. Don't know what that means. I'm not a pyrotechnical guru, but we're going to find it out and have it fixed for tomorrow. We were to have Michael White. He's going to join us tomorrow. They'll be on the road going to Charleston Southern for the Buck football game. We'll have him on tomorrow. Also, we'll have Dr. Barry Walton back tomorrow. He was scheduled to be with us today. Also tomorrow, Sean Witten, head football coach at Elizabeth and Cyclones, will be with us. Also, we'll check in with David Crum, the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer. He'll be with us tomorrow as well. So we'll get all these guys back in and ready to go for a Thursday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. One more time, please go and check out our coaches' shows. Again, they're up now. All you got to do is go to TomTaylorSports.com, all lowercase. It's all there. The Stacy Carter Show for the Science Hill coach, the Sean Witten Show for the Elizabethan head coach, and the Graham Clark Coaches Show for the Dobbins Minute head coach, all there with highlights packages. Again, if you've not seen it, we just don't sit there and drone on. We sound like Mr. Haney, drone on. My voice is cracked. We don't just sit there and drone on. We talk about the teams. Last week's game, we run a lot of highlight packages for you to see some players doing some great things on these teams, and then come back again and preview the game for this Friday night. So they're all three there. Everything you want, TomTaylorSports.com. This show will be there. Of course, our broadcast of Science Hill Sports are there, and also, as we said, the coaches' shows that come out every week, and video on demand. And so you can watch it, click it off, go back and watch it again. You can forward it to somebody else when you want to watch the show. Or you can, get on Facebook and say, check it out, which we certainly would appreciate, as with the coaches and certainly the sponsors. So, hey, we're out of time. We thank you for yours. Back in the saddle tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We'll be ready. Hope you will be for a big action-packed Thursday. Show number 141 under our belts today, or number 40, I should say. Show number 140 in the books. Thanks to Bracken Paving, Blue Lizard, Chick-fil-A, Champion Chevrolet, Center Street Wealth Management Group, Bays Mountain Park, Max Medicine Mart, Cherokee Barbershop, American Import Auto Repair, Bristol Motor Speedway, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, Kingsport Cabinetry, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, Book Lovers Warehouse, and Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance. As always, we'll tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. We'll see you tomorrow right here at 11 o'clock on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Until then, so long, everybody.